What's up? Hey guys, how's it going? This camera's a little high. Uh-oh. It's freaking hot, man. I'm sweating. What's up, everybody? All right, so pull up chat. Thought I had it pulled up, but so we're gonna go over a lot of stuff today. I've been wanting to do this stream for a little while, um, but the games just got in the way. The games have been so fun and hard to stop, um, so instead of a normal Star Wars legacy. What am I? I'm an idiot. Hold on. Oh, it's so bright on my face. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So instead of a Star Wars Jedi Survivor stream, we're going to talk about Star Wars Outlaws news. Whoop whoop. Can't wait. Dude, super excited for the game. But we also have a bunch of new game trailers that have been requested to watch. So we're gonna watch those. I saw a couple, but I don't think I watched any trailers. Like it was just what I saw on X, which wasn't much. So I may have seen some of the stuff, but I haven't seen all of it. Um, there we go. Just pulling up Rumble so that I can check your guys' chat on there. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying that I pay for this service to multi-stream, but it doesn't connect all the chats. I'm sure it's harder, uh, easier said than done. But I'm just like, come on, man, connect the chats for me, bro. Would be so easy for me. For some reason, it's not. Oh shoot, I don't have Dream Avatars up. Hold on. It's like I'm missing something. There's like a little spice it needs. Stream Avatars. I actually really love Stream Avatars. I don't know if you guys care for it, but I think it's cool. I like customizing stuff, so it like gives you guys a little customization on the stream, and then other people could see your your chat messages. There we go. Did he pop up? I don't see him. Is he not? Let's see. What? Dude, what's going on? Oh, there he is. Hello, little guy. So cute. Okay, we're gonna start off. We're gonna watch the trailers to some new videos, some new games or new trailers or something. I tried to avoid seeing what it was that was recommended, just so I could come in fresh a little bit. Um, but we're gonna watch those now, and then I have a couple tabs open. Well, a couple. I have like 5 or 6 tabs open with some Star Wars Outlaws updates, news. I'm sure we'll pause and talk about our thoughts, my thoughts, but feel free to comment, give me your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws and all of that stuff coming up. We'll talk a little bit about the giveaways that I plan on doing when Star Wars Outlaws launches. So be prepared for that. I don't have all the details, but I kind of have a good idea, and so I just want to throw it out there for anyone that's watching me tonight, so that you guys are aware of the ways that you could get a copy of Star Wars Outlaws for yourself. I drank that wrong. Like went down the wrong pipe. Okay. Cue the babies crying. Um, but tonight's stream is sponsored by my good friends over at oldman.health. Organic mushroom based supplements that are good for all men, but definitely geared towards the older of us to keep us alive, strong, and feeling great. So please check out oldman.health. That's literally the website, oldman.health. Thank you guys for sponsoring the stream. And I believe they will be sponsoring our September, our first September this year. So there should be some decent giveaways coming out September, and I mean Star Wars Outlaws comes out around then or at that very time. So super excited for that. My wife got up, so oh, it turned off. Motion sensor outside turned on. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I'm looking at myself. This is what I want to see. You guys see that? Okay, cool. Okay, Black Ops 6 gameplay reveal trailer. I may have already seen this, but regardless, let's watch it. I don't have chat up. Hold on. Is this stream okay? Is it working? So confused. Sorry, guys. Looks clean? Okay, sweet. I don't know why it wasn't really working. Okay, here we go. Black Ops 6 gameplay reveal trailer.
Good evening. The Soviet Union is no more, despite a potential for instability and chaos.
I have not
These
seen this.
events clearly serve our national interest. Free from the specter of global conflict.
The gunfire
celebrate the mystery of American renewal.
that matches the drums was so cool.
Something big.
I'm a fire starter. Terrific fire starter.
I figured if I stuck around hell long enough, I'd see the devil.
How's he look?
I'm a fire starter. Terrific fire starter.
The
Oh my
agency's
gosh, the
compromised,
Firestarter song, dude.
but being hunted from the
So
inside.
cool.
I'm a fire starter. Twisted fire starter.
You don't have to trust me, Marshal. But it might be better if you do.
Hey! It's something you should see.
What the hell are we getting into?
The hell was that?
Don't trust anyone.
It looks like a decent story too.
You broke into a CIA black site. Are you out of your mind?
Things got complicated.
Oh shit.
May God continue to bless the United States of America.
Pre-order the Vault Edition and get the Hunters vs. Hunted Operator Pack, the Mastercraft Weapon Collection, the Season 1 Black Cell Bundle, and more.
Good evening.
Oh shit. Ah, okay. Wow. Dude, that looks cool. I haven't seen that trailer. I saw a different one, but that looks so clean. Looks really good. The story looks really good. It's based in 1991 when I was born, which is just kind of like a cool little thing for me. Dude, when the drums and the guns play at the same time, I was like, "Oh,
Free.
oh, so good." That's just like really cool trailer editing. Um, oh yeah, there's like tributes to like uh the maps that like I loved so much. Black Ops was like I think what was it? I think Black Ops 1 I kind of missed. I didn't really play Black Ops 1. At the time I was living in England when that came out, and I remember in England seeing the posters for it and I was like, "Oh my god." Cuz growing up Black Ops was like my main first person shooter. Um but then when I came home, when I moved back to the United States, Black Ops 2 came out and I played the hell out of that game, man. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. Um so I like that there's like clearly like the classic maps are in here. That was cool this part. There's something else I noticed. Bank vault thing. I was like, what the heck? Oh, I think that's another map. Yeah. Looks so good, looks so good. Now the oh yeah, this part. Are they watching zombies? Oh wait, yeah, this part. The hell is that? Is it like AI based? Black Ops 1, my fave Call of Duty freshman year of high school. Damn, bro. Yeah, that was I did play Black Ops 1. I played a lot of it, but I didn't play it as much as Black Ops 2. I think I came home and we already had Black Ops 1 and then I got Black Ops 2 soon after because it had released by that time. This is interesting because it doesn't look like I mean, it could be like an AI robot, but just looking at it, it looks like a mannequin, from a department store. And so it's just interesting to me because it seems like possibly a paranormal type thing, you know. Um, and I wasn't expecting this. I was just thinking of zombies. And they didn't really show any zombies at all, which I feel like was is a big selling point. So I don't know. And then I guess lastly, let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh yeah, falling out of the air. Isn't this a tribute to like one of the classic Black Ops where you fall in and they grab you? Um, I guess that happens. I know that that happens in Jumanji, the remake Jumanji with The Rock, but I think it happens in one of the Black Ops, or at least one of the Call of Duties. It like feels familiar, dude. Black Ops looks so good. Honestly, I'm gonna play this game. I don't know if I'm gonna stream this game. I'm gonna be honest. Not because like I don't want you guys to watch me or any of that, but like doesn't fit my stream, if that makes sense. Like I want to stream film-based, story-based, book-based stuff. And it kind of gives me a game. I mean, I was playing a ton of Call of Duty like somewhat recently, maybe the last year. I was playing a ton of Call of Duty off stream, and it kind of gives me that like off stream game where I could just like kind of let my hair down. Not that my hair's tied up every time I stream. I try to stream and be genuine when I stream, but it's just different, you know, to let your hair down and play an online game, not care about rank, not care if you're just constantly dying and it's boring content or whatever. Like there's just something special about being able to do that. So I think that's gonna be this game for me, but I'm definitely gonna play it. There's no way I'm missing Black Ops. And my last thing about Call of Duty, I honestly wish, and I'm sure a lot of people do, I wish it was just like like I don't even have a good example. Like I guess I could say I wish it was like World of Warcraft. Maybe not to the point where you're paying monthly subscription based, but in the sense that, the game, it's one game and they have updates that come out that are purchasable, but you can also just play the base game. Because I feel like the whole the whole system of a new Call of Duty, everyone jumps. Hey, what's up, Markinato? Thanks for coming on in and thanks for the sound alert. Welcome, dude. But I honestly feel like Call of Duty, it's like everyone leaves the previous game, and the previous game's like only a year old or a year and a half old. And it's just like, if you don't want to upgrade or can't afford to upgrade, you're just kind of now in a dead game that's still decently new, and it's just annoying. I think most people, I think most people are just tired of buying new Call of Duty games. That's how I feel. And so I would just prefer if they had updates that you could purchase, but you wouldn't need to, and then that way you could still play the maps, um, with the general Call of Duty community instead of just being in like this deserted game because it's a little over a year old. So that's my opinion. I feel like it's dumb that they leave these games after making them and they're so good, but whatever. They should just release them every other year. That could work too. Like giving each game more time. I don't know. I Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much Call of Duty. So much Call of Duty out there. And there's so many preferences. It's like, oh, Black Ops is like my thing, or Modern Warfare is my thing. It's just combine it all. The other thing that comes to mind, and this will be the last thing about Call of Duty. I need to get through all these videos, but uh, I just think about like Rockstar and um, Grand Theft Auto. Like they really take their time with the next game, right? And so everyone that's played Grand Theft Auto 5 has like really gotten the use out of that game, right? And so it makes sense that they would then move on to Grand Theft Auto 6. But it's just like Call of Duty, they just like pop them out so fast. Um, I hope they code it. I hope they code it themselves like Black Ops 2, so we get less hackers. Oh yeah, that's also another thing is all the hackers. I've heard about it. I don't know. I actually do remember seeing some that would just like spam the click button and their body would just shift and kill you. But I've never experienced like a ton of hacker issues. But I have heard and seen videos of it. So yeah, this game looks great. I'm most likely gonna get it myself. A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead reveal trailer. Ooh, I heard whispers of a Quiet Place game, but I didn't know if it was real. Don't feel like talking. Oh, this is gonna be a scary game. Oh my gosh. Gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Dude. Oh man. I don't want to play this game, but I have to. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. What does that do? How do you play and be careful? What's the difference? You push the button a little bit more gentle? You know what I mean? Oh shit. Fucking hell. Dude, that gave me chills. Oh, it's coming out this year? Fuck. Damn, bro. You left because of the hackers in Call of Duty? Yeah, I would too. Holy crap, bro. They revealed they put this reveal trailer. How old is this? 3 weeks. So this was like when all the trailers came out was about 3 weeks ago it seemed. And this is coming out this year? Holy crap, dude. Oh gosh. I better finish I need to finish. I mean, this might be in December, but I need to finish Resident Evil 2 and just prepare for this one to be my new Friday. Like, holy crap, bro. I don't want to watch the trailer again. How the hell are you supposed to play this game? Like, so when you walk through the door, you're supposed to look down at the glass? Oh, there's glass there. I can't go this way. Like, how do you play this? Fuck. Dude. The other thing is like the asthma canister, right? Or whatever that was. So there must be some kind of there's another game that has that where Phasmophobia. I forget what they call it, but like you basically get freaked out and so you have to take medicine to calm yourself down. And so he sees the dead body and he takes this medicine. Oh, I went too far. He looks out. What's the point of the game? Just survive? So he sees that, it starts getting blurry. Interesting. So this would probably be a story-based game, right? It's just like get from A to Z, survive. There's so many questions though, like do you have to eat? Do you have to find food? Do you have a home base where you farm? Or is it just traveling? Oh god damn. Dude, that part is so scary. That's gonna be a gnarly one, dude. Throw an item and walk. Just carry random items. The whole game. Easy, easy peasy. Dude, that looks good. I'm gonna play that one for sure on stream. Okay, so Indiana Jones and the Great Circle cinematic trailer. Did this just come out? 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I haven't seen this. I've seen the other trailers for Indiana Jones, the Great Circle, and the Great Circle. This is also on our list to play. I don't think it has a release date. At least, I mean, I haven't seen this, but showcase 2024. So, I mean, unless there's a release date here, I don't think there's a release date yet. But this game is on our list. Obviously after Star Wars Outlaws at some point.
Are you sure you want to investigate this, Indy?
I love
Can't
how
let
it
this
goes to
go.
Indy.
It could be the best kept secret in history.
What are you going to do, Indiana?
Dude,
These
looks so
artifacts
good.
have a deep connection to something in the past. Boss believes they hold a kind of power.
Is Harrison Ford the voice actor? Like, is there any way to check that? Let's do Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. IMDb. That sounds like Harrison Ford, but it sounds like young Harrison Ford. So Troy Baker, Indiana Jones voice. What? Who is this? He sounds so good. He plays Joel in The Last of Us. Booker DeWitt in BioShock Infinite. Uncharted 4, Samuel Drake. Batman Arkham Knight, Jason Todd. That sounds like something you'd like. He's not. Dude, that's crazy. I'll keep this open. It's interesting. I'm actually gonna like all these videos so I could look back at them. Okay, that's crazy. He sounds just like a young Indiana Jones. Troy Baker is the most famous video game voice actor? Really? What? This guy? Is it? What is this from? Death Stranding 2. Transformers, Justice League, Last of Us, Star Trek. Oh, me more. Diablo 4. Okay. Elder Scrolls Online. Legend of Vox Machina. God of War. Dude, he's been in like a ton of big ones. He plays Bruce Wayne in Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons. Never heard of that game. Old Republic Legacy of the Sith. Far Cry 6. Dude, he's in everything. Fortnite? Damn. Spider-Man? That's crazy. I'll do some research on him later. I just like I love like looking up people, actors specifically. Put some respect on Joel. Wait, what? Oh, The Last of Us Joel, that guy. Dude, that's crazy. He sounds just like him. Like I couldn't I'm I consider myself pretty decent at telling voices apart, and he sounds just like Indiana. He sounds like Harrison Ford, but it definitely sounds like when he was younger. That's why I was confused because typically when an actor gets older, you can tell by their voice. And if you don't know what I mean, go and check out Toy Story 4 and compare it to compare Woody in Toy Story 4 to Woody in Toy Story 1 and 2. Like his voice sounds old. Woody sounds like an old guy in Toy Story 4.
A discovery that could change the world.
So good.
What were you doing out there?
Fresh air!
We have to find the stones, Gina. Or they will. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you'd get a perfectly aligned circle.
The Great Circle.
Exactly.
I intercepted the Morse code coming from the Himalayas.
Where Voss is sending all of his men.
Is that a...
Battleship? Yep. Let's get a closer look.
Gotta find the stone and get off this ship.
What's that in his hands?
He's taking a selfie.
What does it say?
Earth something. What was that?
Nazis.
Better hide. Hey, tú! Ciao.
Hey!
hands behind your head. Where's the stone, you American rat?
What stone?
Have you ever heard of Höhenangst?
Fear of heights?
Yes! And I have it. I endured this dreadful mountain even if my mind was screaming every step of the way. Because of a concept you narrow-minded Americans will never understand!
It's like watching a movie.
Devotion. Total and absolute devotion to the fatherland. You have
motherland,
no purpose. What you have is your stupid American cartoons. Choo choo, choo choo. Ha 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 ha.
Just push 'em
You
off.
laugh and dance,
Well, I guess
celebrating
there's
your
guns.
own idiocy and drinking the piss you call beer. I will walk through fire for the devoted men of the Reich. Give me that stone. Now!
Can't give you what I don't have.
I shall search your corpse to make sure.
Please wait.
Give me the stone.
Gina.
Oh shit. Oh.
We gotta get out of here.
Help me!
Dude, this is so cool.
The stone! The stone!
Gina! Haltet sie auf! Erschießt sie! Hab dich!
Like, it's so Indiana Jones. Like, all of this action is just like classic Indiana Jones action. Oh. Oh man. Release date. Come on. Ooh, okay, we know it's in 2024. I think that's new, right? This looks so good. Bro. Ah, man, it's refreshing seeing a game like this. Indiana Jones has had like zero love. And in my opinion, I feel like it's deserved, well deserved. I really hope that this game does really well because I want more Indiana Jones games. It honestly, it felt like watching a movie. Feels like a Spielberg film. Yeah, no, 100%. Like like that whole scene and everything happening is just like so Indiana Jones. And honestly, I'm excited to travel. Like sorry, I don't know why I'm burping. Like the different temples that they're talking about that create that ring or the great circle, like that's so cool. And seeing that there's jungle, desert, like various landscapes and areas, I'm so curious. Like there's so many questions. Like, are there going to be like searchable Easter eggs or something that's in the game? Like, are you going to be able to upgrade certain aspects of your abilities, or because he has, I mean, he has his fists, his whip, and and his gun, and it's just like very classic. Those three, right? And the I don't know, definitely story based. This is definitely a single player game, but it's gonna be so good. The only thing that makes me laugh is the goofy ass title and the Great Circle. Indiana Jones and the Dope Recticle. Yeah, dude, I'm excited, and his voice sounds so good. Like in my mind, it did not sound like anyone else, which I'm really happy about because that could have been a make or break. I mean, I still would have played it, but like in your head, it would just feel like you're not playing as Indiana. So that I'm super excited for this game. This is gonna be on the list for countdown, for playing, giveaways, like all the stuff. Like this is gonna be one of the main games I play after Star Wars Outlaws. All right, Frag Punk. I've never ever heard of this game.
Keep advancing, broker.
And I'm in.
I like the art style.
Doors and corners, broker.
Lights on, nobody home.
It's like Spider-Man.
I'm getting blue night readings off the chart.
Nice. Knock, knock.
Broker, snap out of it.
Okay.
Damn!
Stay frosty.
Seriously? Ah! No, no, no!
Broker, slow down. Get back in the fight. Use this. Make your own rules.
World flip.
Time for new rules.
Let's go, baby.
I'm so confused. What is it? Oh shoot, is this like a new Fortnite? Oh.
Knock, knock. Guess who's coming to dinner? Say hello to my little friend. Say goodnight, Gracie. You love this. Wait, no, wait. No, not there. See? Hey, maybe we can.
The heck? 5v5 world changing hero shooter. Holy shit. Dude, this is just like I mean it's just like all the where the hell is it? Go to Twitch really quick. Valorant, right? Yeah, it's like Valorant or where are you? I, I blank on names. Anything that has a name, which is everything, I blank. I'm just like, what is that called again? Um, yeah, Valorant or Counter Strike. Like, it's dope looking. What's the other one? Oh, Apex Legends, maybe, but looks a little more like Valorant and Counter Strike. Like 5v5, you pick your cards, right, and weapons before the match, and then you go into the match. I guarantee that's going to be super popular. That looks really good for that genre, of course. I've never really played that, but um yeah, if Indiana Jones's voice was off, that would ruin everything. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that they were on point with that 100%. It's frames per FPS, but with cards as cheat codes. Yeah, dude, that looks so good. Rainbow Six is Rainbow Six like that? I feel like I've never played Rainbow Six, but I feel like Rainbow Six is more like Call of Duty, where like the matches are long and like you revive and stuff. Whereas I feel like this would be like a 5v5, and then like whoever kills the other team first wins, and then it resets to a new game, and then you have the buying phase. Like that's what this looks like. It looks good though. I guarantee this is going to be like on the top of the Twitch browse list. Like there's no way that this doesn't do well. I mean, never say never, but I feel like this has everything it needs to be able to be up there on the top list. Doom, The Dark Ages, official trailer 1. I've never really played Doom, but I've always wanted to. Technically, Doom has a movie, so. Before he became a hero, he was the super weapon of gods and kings. They should do a Doom that's like God of War. I don't know if that makes any sense. I've never played either games, but I feel like I generally know what they're like. The shoddy. Dude, the fur looks great. Oh, the shield looks good too. Oh, what the hell? Dude, creative weapons, bro. Shredding of the skull. This isn't online though, right? This is all single player? Oh, what the hell? Interesting. 2025. Doom the Dark Ages. It kind of gives you medieval feel, right? Medieval or Viking. So it's mixing like a genre, a popular genre, or popular age in time. I mean, he was riding a dragon, right? Fire breathing dragon. That looks good. It is long or short and depends on the match. It can be one life with a healer. Okay. So you know more about that game? This looks good. This is probably the best looking Doom game that I've ever seen. Um, I don't think I'll play it, but maybe. You never know. Um, I've wanted to get into Doom so much. I even have the Doom VR. Um, I've just never ever played it. I don't know why. I, maybe I don't have time and my interest is there, but not high enough to get me to play. You know, it's like just below the bar every time. It's like all the other games that are just barely above the bar, I like do those first. But that looks good. For a Doom game, that looks really good. And this is a genre that I love. I love fantasy, medieval, Viking. I love that era, and when you combine it with a game, like I love it. Blizzard. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. Official release date trailer. I did not watch this. I streamed this a lot a year ago. I streamed Diablo 4. I had countdowns for Diablo 4 when it launched. Um, but I like so many. I played the main story, loved it, thought it was incredible. I felt like this was a game I would never stop playing. And then it just got really boring really fast, and it seems like the developers just had excuses versus like actual like feedback. And then I saw like they had a campfire and the Dems were literally like this. We messed up. We're so sorry. And I'm like, it just seems like such bad acting. It was just like stage acting, just like, let me make sure my lip is like the opposite of a smile. Let me make sure like my head is down low. Let me make sure I'm talking soft. And I'm just like, what the, like, stop pretending, just talk to us. Like, come on, man. And then yeah, I've heard it got better. I've heard it's been better, but I don't know. It's my my whole outlook on my stream and content creation future is just not in this specific area. Um, so, I mean, unless they make a Diablo movie, then maybe. But yeah. Oh, I almost exited. I haven't even watched it. What am I doing?
Akkurat. Cheers, chicham. Mini de cheese. Mini de Zukudo. Mart solan.
Are those dead fish?
Cheers, chicham. Mini de cheese. Mini.
Ooh, it looks
Young
clean.
one, are you all right?
Akkurat. Cheers, chicham. Mini de cheese. Mini de
Nirel?
Zukudo. Mart.
Oh, you're not well. Please, 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 my child, let me help you.
Stay away from me!
Nayrel! Is that how I raised you?
No, Mother. But I must carry this burden alone. I must get to Akarat's tomb.
But look at you. You're killing yourself.
I don't know how much longer I can...
I'm here, little magpie.
I missed you
What's her name?
so much.
I'm so proud of you. But now, I need you to give up.
No, no, no. Of course it's you. You monster. Let go of me.
Let go. No. You made a choice. And I warned you, little magpie. There would be consequences.
the stone, you control nothing.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I could use some help.
Oh shit. Oh. Damn, bro. That's right. She ran away. October 8th. Oh, I'll give it to him. It's a good freaking trailer, bro. And it's like, unfortunately, I tie Blizzard and anything they do with, you know, trying to make. I mean, they're a business, right? But it's just like they're very money hungry, right? They're money driven, and so and they've been very obvious about that, which is why their games have just tanked because it's clearly run by the investors and not so much by their creatives. Um, and so it just draws me to why was that so good? And it's unfortunate that I think that way. I wish I didn't, but it was so good, in my opinion, because they listened to their fan base finally, who kept asking for something dark. They kept saying, "We want Diablo 2 again." You know, back when you weren't a publicly traded company. Maybe I'm pretty sure that was back. I'm pretty sure they were a private company back then before they sold. Um, so back in the good old days, we want something dark like that, and so that's why it's so dark. And then the other thing is that whole trailer is based on the story that Diablo 4 started with, and that's like the one thing that everybody loved about Diablo 4 when it first launched. The story was so good. So they took the love of the story and then made a really dark trailer. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I definitely am overthinking it, but it's just unfortunate that I think that way when it comes to Blizzard. But it was a good trailer. Holy shit. That was real creepy. I couldn't and uh, whoever made it, the team that made it did a really good job because I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't for a while. I was like, was she actually on the water or was she is she just in this guy's chest? Oh, oh, she's actually on the water. But then it made me think, or is this just a mirage to keep her from fighting? I don't know. It looked good. It looked real good. I don't. I'm guessing Marcanato. I'm guessing you're playing Diablo 4, right? Oh shit! Sorry, guys. I dropped the little boy I was fiddling with. Um, Doom is sick. Just pure shooter gameplay, nonstop fun. Diablo trailers always go hard. Uh, Marcanato, you plan on playing it a bit? Yeah, Diablo 4, I mean, their trailers have looked really, really good. But I think if I were to ever, oh, I think if I were ever to play the genre of top-down uh, ARPG, I guess that's what it's called. I would probably stick with see, man, I don't remember game names. I would probably stick with Last Epoch and what's the other one? What's the bigger one, guys? It is still how it was, but they messed up. Yeah. I just played it with a friend, not going to main it. Yeah. What is it? I honestly think Last Epoch is my favorite top-down ARPG. It's just like simple enough yet complex enough to be fun. It's also way cheaper. I think it's $35 um, for the full game, and then their updates are free. So their expansions are free, their updates are free. Whereas Diablo 4, you have to spend just as much for this update that we just watched a trailer for as you did a year ago when you bought the original game. So essentially, every year you're going to be buying the game to continue playing it. Whereas Less Epoch, $35, and then everything is free after that. It's just going to be updates after updates. Um, and then they have cool cosmetics and things that you can buy. Talking about Last Epoch makes me want to play Last Epoch. The other one is Path of Exile. I would probably, if I were to play that genre again, it would be Last Epoch and Path of Exile, but probably mostly Last Epoch. Path of Exile is incredible, probably the number one in the genre. Like, pretty sure that hands down that's the number one in the genre, um, in popularity. But it's complex. It's really complex, and that's also why a lot of people like it. You know, there's plenty to do. It's complex. They switch things up a lot. Um, but I feel like I'm trying to figure shiz out more than I'm actually playing, and so it becomes like really difficult. I'm more of a simpleton. I mean, when it's too complex, I have a hard time. So Last Epoch is just like perfect. It's more complex than Diablo 4, but less complex than Path of Exile. And then with the price and the team, the development team behind it, just loving their player base and you know, it their player base, Last Epoch, genuinely reminds me of Helldivers 2 player base. And if you know anything about Helldivers 2 play, or I'm sorry, not their player base, their dev team. Helldivers 2 dev team is just so humble and def like all they care about is to make the players happy. And they really go above and beyond. And Last Epoch, it's a very similar feeling. Like they just go above and beyond. So I would definitely play Last Epoch over Diablo 4 and Path of Exile. Why am I going on a tangent? You know why? It's 1 in the morning. 1 in the morning. All right. Cool trailer. Creepy as hell. Not gonna buy the game or the expansion. Gears of War E Day. This came out recently, 4 weeks ago. Did I watch this? I don't think I did. I think we've talked about it, but I don't think I've played it. Helldivers 2 team took away my motor farm. What did they do to you? Were you like breaking the game and they stopped you from breaking the game? Is that what was happening? You can't get mad at them for that. You silly goose. Silly goose. All right, Gears of War. I've always wanted to play Gears of War. Like more than Doom. Like I've wanted really heavily to play Gears of War. recognize the character. Main character. Like, I don't know anything about it. Oh! Brotherhood. Hoorah. Damn. Reminds me of Terminator a little bit. Obviously not robots, but might actually play this game. Do we know anything about it? Is it live service or anything, or is it going to be single player only? I think the other games were co-op, right? But that was it. I had a team. I had a team with 2 mortars, so we had 8 and got so much money and XP, but they took it from me. I've always wanted to get into Gears of War 2, and I think I'm starting here. You know what? I might be down to do that with you. They don't have any movies about Gears of War, right? It's just a video game. I remember it came out on Xbox, and it was like Xbox exclusive, and I just never had an Xbox past the first Xbox. I never had anything else, but oh, this is a prequel of the main trilogy. Oh, no way. That makes sense. This is like Quiet Place Day 1 type thing, right? When the shit hit the fan. Dude, that's dope. They have multiplayer and co-op. Please God, don't do live service crap. Played too much Halo to get into Gears. Oh, back in the day, played too much Halo. I mean, this looks really good. I've always wanted to play Gears of War. Like, growing up, like, that was the game that everyone played that I never played. And they always talked about it. But I did play Halo a ton, so I played that instead of this. Looks great. Might play it. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, all these are Star Wars Outlaws. All right, well, that ends the first portion. Thanks for hanging out. But we're going to get into some Star Wars Outlaws updated news. There's a couple things in here that might be a little old, but I haven't watched any updates for a little while. So let's watch it. This came out on Star Wars' YouTube a month ago, 4 weeks ago, and it's called Star Wars Outlaws Official Gameplay Showcase. I did watch this because this was the Ubisoft Forward. We actually live streamed this. Live streamed this already. That's fine. We'll watch it again. Possible mini games in the game.
New record. At the top, where it should be. Let's go, Nix.
That's so cool. Yeah, because you can play it. It says play.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matthias Karlsson, game director at Massive Entertainment. Today, we'll show you a different type of adventure. And as we journey across multiple systems, we will come across many opportunities for a scoundrel. In Star Wars Outlaws, one of your motivations for exploration is to find elusive experts scattered across the galaxy. These experts will help Kay pick up new skills to survive in the underworld.
This is cool. I like this aspect because I feel like uh I feel like I might side note, I might compare this game a lot to Hogwarts Legacy, and the reasons are because it's an open world single player game, and Hogwarts Legacy was probably the biggest, most recent single player uh open world game that has come out. So, I'm going to do a lot of comparison. I like this. I think this is cool that you can pick and go and get the skills from them. Um, because I feel like in Hogwarts Legacy, there was a lot of gatekeeping. If you wanted to learn certain things, you had to wait. Specifically, if you wanted to learn the dark art spells, you kind of had to go through the story to get to a point where like you could learn it. Maybe that's the case here. Maybe that's how you get these, like the bartender, you get the cards that tell you how to get it, maybe. But it seems like you have all of it, and then from the beginning you can choose. Do you want to be a gunslinger? Do you want, like, right here, look, you got she got fisticuffs up, right? This looks like body armor, maybe dazing the enemy. It's definitely a stormtrooper down there. Maybe being aware of your surroundings. Like, it would just be cool to be able to pick from the beginning, get what you want when you want it, versus, when am I gonna learn about plants? Oh, I have to take class and this and that, and I'm not ready yet. I don't know. Like, I'm going off of my knowledge or my memory, which I've proven previously that it isn't that great, um, but I felt gate kept a little bit from getting the skills and the abilities that I wanted in Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be really cool.
Here, we're looking for a gunslinger who can teach us some new tricks.
Ooh, look at this though. We got question marks and we got a blank space. So there's some kind of way. There must be some kind of way to. Maybe you have to hear about them and then it pops up here. I don't know. Abilities. How do you find out about these experts? Maybe that's a way that they do a little bit of gatekeeping. I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be very similar to Hogwarts Legacy. Vehicles, equipment, abilities, map, journal, reputation, databank. Dude, reputation is going to be dope. I'm really excited for that. I believe Avatar had reputation depending on where you were. And that I love the aspect of reputation. I think it's really cool. Uh, getting people to trust you in certain areas. What's databank though?
Our intel points to the Mos Eisley Cantina on Tatooine. So let's head back to our ship. We're picking up in Accra Station. A remnant of the Clone Wars.
This looks like Star Wars Land
that now
in
acts as a
Disneyland
trade
right
hub
here.
for illegal contraband. It's a great place to resupply.
Come quick. These deals won't last forever.
Merchants are often affiliated with the syndicates and might offer you a special deal if you're in good standing with them.
Can I help you?
What's going on? I play Hogwarts a second time, but I added all spells. You played Hogwarts Legacy a second time? So did you, was it a mod? You played a mod version?
This kind of business attracts all kinds of shipjackers, contract brokers, and corrupt officials.
Need your name cleared from the wanted list.
I like that you could pretty much talk to anyone.
Your ship the Trailblazer,
And you
is
heard that,
refined.
right?
This attracts all kinds of shipjackers, contract brokers, and corrupt officials.
Need your name cleared from the wanted list.
Need your name cleared from the wanted list? Like, could you actually, like, you become wanted in this area and then you go to this guy and then clear your name if you do X, Y, and Z for him? Like, the side quests in this game are probably going to be unbeatable. Like, because it makes sense, because that's what your character is. Like, you are an outlaw, and outlaws are known to do side quests for people, you know, and build reputation with like bad guys, good guys. I mean, think of Han Solo. Like, he was known as kind of, you know, basically the rebel of the group because he was an outlaw. Like, he wasn't good, he wasn't bad. Like, he was just him. So I think that it, like, this game just feels like it's gonna be so natural to play side quests like everywhere, in my opinion. And then if we compare it to Hogwarts Legacy, I mean, like, side quests and questing in general is cool and kind of makes sense because in the movies, you know, Harry Potter and the group, they go out and do stuff, right? But it's like, what about the time spent in class? Like, and so there's like the students technically are supposed to be in class, you know, most of the time, and then these side things that the movies and the books show are just like outside of class, you know, and so it, I guess it makes sense in a video game because it's like you kind of ignore the class thing, but it eliminates a little bit of immersiveness. Whereas this, everything you do is just exactly probably how it would happen, you know, in real life. And so it would be like, in my opinion, way more immersive to play in this open world than it would in Hogwarts Legacy. And that's not a hate on Hogwarts Legacy. I love Hogwarts Legacy. I had a great time playing it. And at the time, I had no complaints at all. Well, that's a lie. I had some complaints. But at the time, like, there was nothing to compare it to, you know, at least nothing new. And so I think that's where it's coming from. I'm just like, now I'm like, I see this looks like it's a little bit better.
Your ship, the Trailblazer, is a refined EML 850, the last of its kind. On board, you'll find everything you need to finalize your preparations.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, there's different rooms in there.
Hey,
all the
Andy.
things to do in your ship.
Akiva space.
Each planet has its own system for you to explore, and many opportunities to make a few credits.
The fact that
which
you're
you can choose
flying
to engage
between
with or not.
as well is so cool.
My ship will not survive long.
This is Kay Vess on board the Trailblazer. I'm coming to help.
This is so cool. I've played Star Wars games where the shooting is like this in space.
One down.
I think it was just Battlefield, right? I can't remember, but bam.
Happy to help. And you can tell Gorak he owes Kay Vess a ship.
In space, your actions also have consequences and can impact your reputation with syndicates. This optional dogfight allowed us to improve our reputation with the Pikes while making a few credits.
Good.
Spooling up the hyperdrive.
Now let's continue our journey and head to Tatooine.
Okay, really quick. Similar to my thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy back when it came out. I hope that this single player game, this open world single player game, I hope that this does so well that it pushes them in the direction of making a live service game. Now, I know you already said you hate live service games, at least um, that's what you said, Eric. But I really like I love the idea of having a game like this, super well made, and then being able to play it for a long time, like longer than the story, reason to play it, and then being able to play with other people. Like that's the one thing I need. Like most really great games. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it really depends on who you are, but most really good games that come out are single player because they can just focus on this, task ahead of them and the gameplay here. They don't have to worry about people messing up and finding, like you, Marginato, finding little, cheats or like exploits and having to fix them. Like they don't have to deal with all that. It's just a single player game and that's it. People can make mods, do whatever you want, but it's a single player game. They made it. But I honestly, man, like I think after the downfall of World of Warcraft, I kind of feel like I'm missing out on MMOs. Um, and so I just want a decent MMO in a world that I love, whether it's Harry Potter or the Wizarding World, whether it's Star Wars. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've been curious about like there's this dinosaur game that you can play that's online and it's made me like think about Jurassic Park potentially like an online MMO. That's obviously less likely, but I don't know. I want to play games like this with you guys. It would be so fun to play with you guys. I watch people play one of my favorite streamers. Let me pull up her name really quick. Sarah Jane. Dude, check out Sarah Jane. She's incredible. And she plays Final Fantasy online and it just looks like so much fun. She has like community nights and like just looks like so much fun. For a long time, I was trying to find an online service game to play, to stream and to main, but I don't know. It's just hard when you feel like you're not hooked enough to play a game for a long period of time. But I feel like Star Wars and Wizarding World could maybe do that for me. Again, I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Let's continue. It looks so good.
Tatooine space, edge of the galaxy.
Oh my gosh! And coming through, like
system is in the
the fact that this doesn't just turn into
our reputation with them is poor, so we best be on our way.
Turn into what are those called? I'm blanking. Turn into a cutscene. The fact that traveling to the planet doesn't just turn to a cutscene and then you're there. Like you have to fly into the planet. And then look at this. Clouds. It's like so immersive. It's so real. Oh, it's so good.
Welcome to legendary Mos Eisley.
What happens if you crash into a building?
We could head straight to our destination.
Maybe this is a cutscene.
Or explore what the city has to offer. Recreating this iconic city is a dream come true for our team, allowing us to show parts of Mos Eisley you've never seen before.
That's crazy.
Room for one more?
There are many opportunities for a
minigame.
scoundrel, including working your way in with the Hutt cartel. Most of Tatooine's economy is under their control, even though the increased Imperial presence has been hurting their business. But first, we need to pick up the trail of our expert gunslinger. The best place to start is the cantina. asking around, we learn of a pirate who is deadly
Just
with a
going to
blaster,
the
and who
cantina
used to
on the
work for the
planet
Hot
you know
Cartel.
that they're at and just asking me around. It's so
Our
cool.
intel leads to one of their storehouses, located in the southern hills.
Can you go on those?
Traveling to your destination can be an adventure in itself.
What do they call them? I forget what they're called. Where they collect the droids.
As you move across scorching dunes and dusty valleys, you'll quickly realize that this lawless desert planet still holds many mysteries. We've reached our destination. We need to locate our storehouse and find our way into this heavily guarded fortress without triggering the alarm.
Busy place.
I hope they have like sniper type rifles. I'm a fan of the distance shooting, you know, coming in silently, but taking a few people down first.
All right, maybe there's a data pad or something that can tell me who that old gunslinger is.
Nix, attack.
Oh, dude.
Good job, buddy.
The punching in this reminds me of the Indiana Jones, The Great Circle. Like, just like clearly,
Nix,
you know,
do you sense anyone close?
like a. How do you even explain that? Like, you could feel the punches when they punch. Just by looking at them, you could feel it.
Easy. All right, let's see what we have here. Yes, I got it. Wait, Quint? That sheriff from Wayfar used to work for the Hutts? I should talk to her.
Oh, come on!
We've been spotted, but we now know where to find our gunslinger. Let's get out of here quick.
We're in trouble, pal.
I guess what happens if you die? Like, do you? I'm always curious how they work death into it. Like, maybe you don't die, but you get arrested and you have to pay your way out or something. Freaking beautiful game, dude. So pretty.
You again. If you're still looking for Haas, I haven't seen him.
Actually, I'm here for you. I heard you're the best shot on the planet.
Oh, and you want to be second best. Now is not a good time. The Hutts are coming, and I need to get ready. Get your blaster out.
What we have just shown you is the beginning of one of the many adventures you can go on in Star Wars Outlaws. Whether you want to learn new blaster skills, upgrade your speeder,
dude,
or become an unstoppable thief. Finding an expert is always an adventure.
The punching, man, it feels so good. It looks so good that it feels good.
We should get moving.
Rancor. Dude, I'm excited for that. Whoa, why is it like that? Dude, it looks so freaking good.
Game director at
I'll just pause it here. Dude, it looks incredible. I mean, there's nothing I can say negative about Star Wars Outlaws. From what it looks like, it looks perfect. Um, yeah, I mean, I could talk about Star Wars Outlaws forever. At least my thoughts. Um, yeah, it looks so dang good. I just can't wait to play it. Cannot wait to play it. We are going to be streaming this day one. There's a 3-day early access. I don't know if that's August 30th, the release date, or if it's going to be August 27th, 3 days before the release date. I don't know like specifics on how they're doing that, and I haven't seen the answer. Maybe I should check the frequently asked questions. Maybe we'll do that. Uh, maybe we'll do that now. 3-day early access Star Wars Outlaws. Gold Edition, 30 days early access, and a season pass, which grants you access to 2 post-launch DLCs when available. Also instantly unlocks a bonus mission and new cosmetics. When is the 3-day early access? Star Wars Outlaws release date is set for August 30th, 2024. There will be a 3-day window of early access starting on August 27th if you buy the Gold or Ultimate Edition. There you go. That's from videogamer.com. When is Star Wars Outlaws early access release? Tuesday, August 27th. You can play the game early if you buy gold. Significantly more expensive than the standard. Yes, it is. It's like $40 more. Okay. So, August 27th, we will be streaming it. And we're going to have we're going to give out access to the game throughout that stream. So August 27th is when we start our September. We're starting it a couple days early just so we could do it while we play the game. And we're going to have game code drops. It's not going to be, it's going to be a little bit different. They have an Ubisoft Plus that you can get, basically a monthly subscription. And it's significantly cheaper than the game. So the base game is $70. I think the gold edition, which gives you the 3-day early access, is like 90 or a little over $100. And so instead of giving like instead of giving one gold edition or maybe 2 standard editions of the game, pardon me, I'm not sure how many I'm giving away, but I okay, this isn't concrete yet, but I plan on giving away um Ubisoft Plus passes. I think it's like less than $20 a month. It's like around $15 a month. So I plan on giving 1 month passes to Ubisoft Plus so that you can play the early access release of this game, and then you can play it for a month, which you should be able to beat it in a month. Um, and that way I could give out more. I can give out more to you guys, and we could have more people playing the early access. So whatever it is that the sponsors are going to be able to help me with will depend on how many I can give away. But I plan on giving one away every hour of my stream on August 27th. So depending on how long that stream is, I'm going to stream as long as I can. Um, the other thing is, I am going to be streaming this game on August 27th from Star Wars Land in Disneyland. That's the plan. I don't know how the F I'm going to do that. As far as I know, it's never been done. As far as I know, no one has ever streamed a game from Disneyland. Especially something like this on a launch day in the world, in the land of the world, you know. But that's the plan. So hopefully it all works out, and that would be cool. I guess side note, another giveaway I want to do while I'm there streaming at Disneyland. If anyone comes and finds me at Disneyland on August 27th while I'm streaming, again, a goal, not for sure, but this is my plan. I plan on giving away gift cards, like Disney gift cards, so that you can go buy yourself a blue or green milk, which is like the Star Wars drink that they have there that's like really good. So that's the other thing. I plan on having like I don't know how many, like a couple gift cards for people that come and meet me in person. There you have it. That's the stuff. I think I released I think all that on Twitter um and on my Discord. So as far as updates, if you really want updates with me, my streams, what I'm doing, my ideas, or just giveaway information, definitely check out the Discord and definitely follow me on X. Those are like the two places I'm most active, mostly X, but Discord is also a really good place because that's where I send all the announcements. Um, all right. Last thing about the giveaways. So I mentioned that I'm planning on giving away a Ubisoft Plus membership for 1 month every hour so that people can play early access Star Wars Outlaws, right? Um, now I was considering how am I gonna choose? You know, is there gonna be like a big wheel and I spin it and we see who it lands on, which I think I've done before. Uh, or is it gonna be like a raffle? Like, how am I gonna do this? And so I kind of we'll see if it works out this way. I might have a plan B on how to do it just in case. But my main thing is my main idea right now is I'm gonna have the chat, active chat, telling Star Wars based jokes, and whichever joke makes me laugh out loud, I will give them. You know, the first one in that hour that makes a joke that makes me laugh, I'll give them a code or whatever I have to do. Whether it's like I don't know if it's gonna be like a Venmo or if it's gonna be something else, but that's my plan. I don't know how many funny Star Wars jokes there are out there, and there's probably a lot of references that I won't get. So we might do that for one or two of them, and then if it doesn't really work out the way that I'm expecting, we might do something else. Might just do like jokes, um, or think of a number from 1 to 100. First one to guess it, gets it. I don't know. Okay, next video. Nope, this is the video we just watched. All right, next video is by Expecto Go. I really hope you know who Expecto Go is. He's incredible. I believe his name's James, right? Um, this is your boy James. Uh, this guy's incredible. He's so humble. He's just a genuinely nice guy. He did a ton, and he still does a ton of Wizarding World content. They literally have Wizarding World Wednesdays. Um, such a good guy. Highly recommend following him anywhere. But he had this video a month ago. New Star Wars Outlaws updates you missed. So I have not seen this. I've been wanting to watch it, but I wanted to save it for stream.
Star Wars Outlaws just officially revealed new character details, new controllers, K-Vest, in a live-action Star Wars project, and more. Here are
Live-action
5
Star Wars
new
project?
Star Wars Outlaws updates
This
you
is why I
might
watch
have
these
missed.
things.
Yo, this your boy James over Expected Go, bringing you guys fun and positive gaming content.
Fun and
During
positive.
Star Wars
Highly
Day,
recommend.
Star Wars Outlaws released new concept art and new visual character profiles to their free-to-download fan kit on the official Star Wars Outlaws website, adding character profiles of Sliro, Vale, and Jalen to the previously released K, Nix, and ND character profiles, giving us the players the new and in-depth details
have to
about
stand
these
up and
main
walk around
characters
for a
we will
sec.
be coming across in Star Wars Outlaws. Starting with Sliro, the main antagonist of the game, he's a wealthy crime lord, leader of the New Zarek Besh crime syndicate that he runs apparently from his mansion in Canto Bight. Rocking the black and white fur cape with a black and pale robe, Sliro definitely fits the casino crowd as he regularly mingles with the rich and powerful in the city's casino district, using both charm and intimidation to gain their favor. K-Vest is also from Canto Bight, but from the poor district of the planet. So there seems to be a deeper connection between us as K, the protagonist, and Sliro, the antagonist. So much so that Sliro hires
from the
Vale,
same planet?
one of the most skilled bounty hunters, according to the profiles in the Outer Rim, to track down K-Vest. The visual character profile also gives us new details about Val's blaster, comlink, and more. Great little details. But as seen in the last visual character profile, K isn't alone. We have Nix, we have ND5, and also Jay Lin, a charming and well-connected outlaw who looks to mentor K, having been running heist and smuggling rings for years independent of the major crime syndicate. Jalen recognizes potential in K for some reason and offers her the job that could be her one chance at freedom. I gotta say though, Jalen, I don't trust that dude at all. And I feel like he's going to betray us eventually, kind of like in Solo, A Star Wars Story.
I think
But
that was my
overall,
first
these are
instinct
great
as
new
well.
details and insights into 3 main characters in Star Wars Outlaws that we'll be coming across. So be sure
Vale
to
becomes
download
our
the visual
friend,
guide
Jalen
for
becomes
free
our enemy.
today. Also free to download today are the 4 new concept art images for Star Wars Outlaws. These 4 images, like the visual character profiles, gives us even
Dude, that
more
looks
new
so
details
pretty.
and insights into our experiences with this game. With the first image being of our spaceship, the Trailblazer, flying through a debris field in the Toshara orbit, looking to make its way to the space station at the top right. Similar and maybe the exact debris field we saw in the gameplay trailer last summer, but now, knowing new details about how space stations offer trade and job opportunities in game, I might not be far off. Speaking of the Trailblazer, the second image has us on the back of the ship, next to Nix and our speeder. It is confirmed you can walk around the Trailblazer, so I love that this image specifically hints at a new detail about the ship being a sort of jump pad for our speeder to take off from, while visiting the many planets we'll explore in-game. The third image gives us more details on the Shiga clan, a new Star Wars syndicate created by Massive Entertainment in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, giving us a better look at what their outposts per se and guards will look like when possibly sneaking in to their territories. And lastly, the fourth and final concept being of the reigning Akiva
Squidward,
streets.
bro.
Shown briefly in the recent story trailer, a very densely populated area with not only aliens, but the Empire and cute creatures apparently stealing a hat. Scenes like this helps honestly build out the immersion of each location in Star Wars Outlaws, making them feel alive in their own unique ways. Another feature that will help us be immersed into Star Wars Outlaws with a uniqueness value are controllers, specifically Xbox controllers. And thanks to Star Wars Outlaws announcement, Xbox, in collaboration with Star Wars Outlaws, released new controllers. Stating on X, we've partnered with Xbox Design Labs for 2 Star Wars Outlaws inspired standard and elite controllers. You can use these presets when you order customized controllers to explore a galaxy full of opportunity. The standard controller base price will start at $69.99 and the elite base price will
Glad I
start
don't
at
have
$149.99,
controllers.
with both having the options for add-ons
I'm
thanks
a
to
PC gamer,
Xbox Design Lab
100%.
custom controller feature.
The only thing I
And
don't
honestly,
like
I
not
love the
having
color scheme for the Star Wars Outlaws
is
controllers
vibration.
of baby blue
I
and
wish
orange
they
specifically.
added like
Colors
mouse
seen
vibration.
prominently on Outlaws
like that.
marketing for the game, whether it's
Besides
the
that, though.
website, fan kits, or even their YouTube videos. Plus, with Ubisoft pushing their Ubisoft Plus subscription service, granting players the ability to play Outlaws for cheap, having a Star Wars Outlaws Xbox or PC controller is a great pairing, in my opinion, for the publisher and Xbox. But is this a good pairing for you? You know what else is a good pairing? The subscribe button and like button. Click both if you're enjoying the video so far. What also seems to be a good pairing are Star Wars and live action. In an exclusive interview with the Direct, we got even more new details revealed about Star Wars Outlaws. This coming from the game star Humberly Gonzalez, who voices our character Kay Vess, commenting on the possibility of Kay appearing in a live action future Star Wars installment. When asked during the interview if she thought about the possibility of appearing in a live action Star Wars project, Gonzalez admitted that she hopes they do. Oh, absolutely, she says, and I hope they do because the story itself is canon. There's so much to explore, and I feel like people would love her in real life, and yeah, it would be a dream for sure, end quote. Hold up. Star Wars Outlaws apparently is canon? This is a huge new detail that the actress confirms, and all the events, new characters, planets, and creatures officially are now part of the Star Wars lore, according to Gonzalez. This is honestly what I hoped for, and to hear it confirmed,
I think I just kind of assumed, right?
This just gets me even more excited for the new Star Wars game. Now, the Direct also added.
Let's pause. So I don't know if it's like Disney or Lucasfilm or whatever, but there's legitimately a team. Now, okay, let's ignore the fact of what's that new show called that everyone is like, this sucks. Let's ignore that, okay? But like I've seen a documentary. They used to play this documentary on loop at Disneyland, um, in the Tomorrowland building that spins. It used to just be full of Star Wars stuff, and so they had an area where you could sit and it would play this documentary on repeat. And they basically talked about like there is a team whose sole job is to make sure that the stories being told in video game, book, TV show, cartoon, in all their forms, that they match up, that they make sense. As far as like, obviously, I mean, maybe they did away with that recently. What's that show that everyone's dogging on? Star Wars show, The Acolyte. Yeah. So clearly, the team did a terrible job on The Acolyte. Um, and some other recent things have kind of been not that great. But I can confirm to you, like 100%, there at least at some point has been a team that makes sure that all of these things line up to at least to a point where they would make sense within the world. Um, and so, uh, I don't know, just what he was saying about like he was so happy that this is part of the actual Star Wars world. Like I guess I've always assumed that these types of things would be that just because of the documentary I mentioned. So I guess that is cool. Um, but it would, I mean, assuming that the game is as great as it looks, this could be better than the Jedi Survivor um, game. What am I saying? Guys, it's 2 a.m. I feel like this could be way bigger and way more popular than that game. And that game was really popular. I mean, they brought his lightsaber into uh, like when you build a lightsaber at Star Wars at Disneyland, you like they have his lightsaber. So like he's very popular. They even made action figures of that character. Um, so I mean, I could definitely see this being heavily popular and possibly to a point where they would do something like live action. The only thing is though, I don't know if they would choose like she would have to really look like her. I feel like Gonzalez. Like I feel like if they had someone that looked more like Kay Vess and sounded decently like her, I feel like they would choose that person over Gonzalez if Gonzalez didn't look as much like Kay Vess. Does that make sense, man? Uh, I'm starting to get tired. You might not believe me, but I'm not sure if my chat's still working. By the way, it's like, because it shows like the video so that I know that it's still working, but for some reason it's having trouble today. Anyways, yeah, let's get back to it.
Ask Gonzalez what character in Star Wars canon she'd want to meet as Kay, and she says, the most amazing villain of all time, Darth Vader. Absolutely, hands down, end quote. Now, even though we most likely won't see this pairing of Vader and Kay, at least in Star Wars Outlaws, us fans will see other cameos like Jabba the Hutt and Emilia Clarke's Kira of the Crimson Dawn. Who would you like to see Kay interact with? Comment below, let us know. Another article, this time coming from Game Informer,
C-3PO
reveals even more new details concerning Star Wars Outlaws' highly anticipated feature, the reputation system. Massive Entertainment just shared some insight into how the game's reputation system will morph Kay's journey across the Outer Rim. As Kay, you can perform various missions for each crime syndicate, building a reputation among them with every task you perform. Star Wars Outlaws senior narrative system designer Alice Rendell shares that while the main beats of Kay's story will remain the same regardless of the player's actions, Star Wars Outlaws gameplay will change depending on Kay's standing with the game's 3 big crime factions. For example, if Kay must steal something from the Pikes, another crime syndicate, while having a bad reputation with them, their enforcers will make her task all the more difficult. However, though, should she have a good relationship with the Pikes, then Kay could walk right into their base and take whatever she needs without any incident. Between the new update of K-Vest and Star Wars Outlaws being canon, the new controllers, or updated character profiles, Star Wars Outlaws seems to be ramping up for its gameplay reveal in June for the Ubisoft Forward event and eventual release months later in August. Which of these 5 updates has you even more excited for Star Wars Outlaws?
This is a good video. All right, so this is by Ubisoft 4 weeks ago. Star Wars Outlaws official game overview trailer. Is this just a trailer or is this like them talking about
Welcome to the first ever open world Star Wars game. Set in the dangerous golden age of the underworld.
Let's raise the stakes, shall we?
Okay.
You play as Kay Vess, a scoundrel looking to start a new life. Kay gets pulled into a plan that will...
Hold on, side note. I'm excited to play K-Vess. I usually play female characters in games when you get to choose the character. It would be kind of cool to be able to choose what you look like and, you know, who you are. It would feel more personalized that way. I'm actually It honestly makes me wonder why they did not go that direction, because it seems like the entire game could essentially stay the same. Um, if you could personalize, customize your character, it'd be cool to choose a different race, different hairstyle, different skin tones, different looks. That would be pretty cool. So, I mean, to be fair, I've been dogging on Hogwarts Legacy quite a bit. Compare when I compare it to Star Wars Outlaws, but that is definitely one thing that Star Wars Outlaws lacks in comparison to Hogwarts Legacy, the customization. And it feels like, I'm thinking about it, it feels like it totally could have been done. But I don't know. I guess maybe voice acting could have had multiple male voices, multiple female voices. I don't know. Why would they do that? Any game developers out there happen to know why they would choose something like this when they know that people love customizations?
Change everything.
I believe if you follow the plan, no one gets hurt.
Fortunately, she won't do it alone. From childhood, Kay and Nix have been inseparable partners.
You're welcome.
Helping each other every step of the way.
Oh, dude, the punches, bro. I love the punching.
All right, distract him, Nix.
This game looks like they do punching right,
their criminal
and
skills
so
and
does
tools.
Indiana Jones.
Kay and Nix will have to constantly adapt to every scenario.
Nix, you want to drop that for me? Come on. Whoa.
If you don't want me to sound the alarm, you'll get me out of here.
As your versatility grows, gain access to new
You can't
skills
ride the
and
wall?
more
Come on,
lucrative
bro.
contracts.
There she is.
A friend needs a little something stolen.
And in this world, your actions have consequences.
I can't let you walk out of here.
Double cross, refuse and finish
I'm
the
gonna
jump.
finish it.
Shame.
And reputation is everything.
Ooh, choices.
Where is
Choices are nice.
The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, and more attention you'll receive from some of the most notorious syndicates of the galaxy.
And how did you think it was going to end?
Tell the governor the payments will not increase.
It's up to you where your loyalties lie.
Hey, Nix!
Being wanted by the Empire brings a new set of challenges.
Oh, shoot.
This is getting bad. Hold tight!
I
So as
missed
your
that
exploits
somehow.
grow, beware of who you
Is it like
cross.
getting stars in Grand Theft Auto? so
Scattered
cool.
across the stars are unique locations, rich biomes, environments, and adventures to discover. Traverse the lush jungle world of Akiva, the ancient city of Kijimi, the dangerous savannah moon of Tashara, or roam the lawless planet of Tatooine. When it's time to move, pilot Kay's Trailblazer to transition from planet to planet.
MD, fire up the hyperdrive.
Ready to jump.
Once you land, you can
Damn.
explore all
Oh,
these
what the
worlds.
Wait,
On Kay's
that
Escort,
transition,
You
bro.
can explore all these worlds.
Fire up the hyperdrive.
Who edited this?
Once you land, you can
Dude, this is pretty clean, dude. I need to find the editor right now. Sorry guys, the video editor inside of me just wants to watch this. Ship turns sideways slightly as it passes. Cut to...
Once you land,
I almost missed it. It was so clean.
Ready to jump.
Yeah, last time I swear.
once you land, you can explore all these worlds.
Can I meet you,
On Kay's
whoever's the editor?
S57 Cardinal
We
Speeder.
gotta talk. That was such a good cut. And they probably
This
have
is the
like
life of an
a
outlaw.
crap ton
A
of
life where
footage
you
to go
fight,
through. So to find something like that,
explore,
it's like
and
gold.
infiltrate parts of the galaxy you never thought possible. There are opportunities at every turn. And if you're willing to take the risk and defy the odds, the galaxy is yours for the taking.
Dude. That looks great. That looks great. All right, we're back on Expecto Go. We got 1, 2, 3 more videos. So kind of we're almost there. Maybe like half an hour or so, 45 minutes. Just in case you're like dying to get out of here for some reason. I mean, you shouldn't be, but just kidding. So this is more recent, 12 days ago. So less than 2 weeks ago, 5 surprise Star Wars Outlaws gameplay details. Let's take a look.
Star Wars Outlaws' new gameplay reveals just continue to surprise me. From the
How so?
positive new minigame features and positive Uncharted gameplay comparisons to even the mixed gameplay reviews coming out of Ubisoft Forward. Here are 5 new Star Wars Outlaws gameplay details that might surprise you. Yo, this is your boy James over Expecto Go, bringing you guys fun and positive gaming content. Recently, Star Wars Outlaws creative director Julian Girardi revealed a huge gameplay detail, confirming the gameplay runtime for Star Wars Outlaws taking about 25 to 30 hours to complete. Now, that 25 to 30 hour runtime is expected for those that focus on the main story, while completionists of the first open world Star Wars game, like myself, we're looking at 50 to 60 hours to complete everything in game. If you compare this to the last Star Wars games, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it took about 15 to 20 hours to complete the main story and 25 to 35 hours to complete everything. Star Wars Outlaws completionist gameplay
I'm a bit slow, so double all those
Jedi
numbers.
Survivor, which is what we
Make
fans
all of them.
have been
That's me.
hoping for since the announcement of Star Wars Outlaws being the first truly open world Star Wars game ever. And like other games in the genre, it's looking to be packed with content. But as Game Rant points out, the quality of the content within a game is far more important than how long a game is. Either way, though, this gameplay detail by Star Wars Outlaws creative director
quality
gives
over quantity.
myself and fans hope for an expansive and packed gameplay experience that's worthy of the title and universe George Lucas created. The open world of Star Wars Outlaws not only benefits the runtime, but encourages exploration, according to the aforementioned creative director Julian Girardi, saying that another motivation for exploration in Star Wars Outlaws will be by way of the experts feature. Experts are found all over the galaxy, on board space stations and specific planet locations you, as Kay, will come across during your journey. Thanks to these experts, though, you'll be able to upgrade your specific abilities, from lockpicking to speeder boost,
You can
blaster
do all of
upgrades,
them,
and
right?
even hooking up your ship, the Trailblazer. Now, these experts won't be as easy to come across. You'll have to fly through space, speed across planets, and even gather intel sometimes in dangerous territories just to find the experts you need to upgrade a certain ability. And having to do all that may seem like the developers are purposely making the game longer, adding runtime for
dude,
no
thanks for the
reason.
follow,
But
bro.
in all actuality, it narratively makes sense for some of these experts to be hard to find, whether they're on the run or in hiding, kind of like our scoundrel of a character, Kay Vess. This galaxy is huge, so again, it narratively makes sense
We
to
talked a
find
little bit about
certain
this earlier.
authorities to help us with our abilities like experts.
Hey, did you
Adding,
just start?
in my opinion, to the
We did not just start, but there is still quite a bit we're gonna watch. I think about like 30 to 45 minutes of stuff we're gonna watch and talk about. Still contemplating whether or not to buy it. Okay, that's a good thing to contemplate. It's going to be an incredible game, so definitely highly recommend. And uh, if it comes down to whether you have the funds, let me just pull this up really quick. It's Bungie, right? No, it's not Bungie. What am I thinking? Uh, Creators are. Can you play a male character as well? You cannot. We were actually just discussing that. Um, I wish that they allowed us to customize our character, um, but they don't. It's Kay Vess, the female lead character, um, which I think is fine, but it just, in my opinion, would have been a nice touch, and I feel like it would not have messed with. It would not have messed with the main story or that much really in the game. Think of like Hogwarts Legacy if you've played that. Like we all made unique characters and it all worked while we played in the open world. Not Bungie. It is Ubisoft. My bad. Ubisoft. Okay, so just based on what you were talking about, we talked about this earlier. But let me show you. So the game is expensive. Like there's no way to get around that. The game is expensive, but so standard edition, $70. Okay. It's quite a bit, right? Uh that almost makes me don't not want to play. I don't want to play a female as I can't identify with her from a role playing perspective. That's odd, forcing a female character on us. I totally get it. I mean, I play D&D. I get role playing a lot. I understand role playing. And it's unfortunate. I like cuz I totally get what you're saying. Because there are some things that take me out of the idea of role playing, and the fact that it's an open world, it just makes sense, to allow the players to personalize it, to a point where they feel like it's them in this outlaw, world, this outlaw game. Um, for me, fortunately, I generally play female characters. Like I'll choose a female character usually over a male character. I don't know why. Like I don't know why. There's nothing really I'd I couldn't tell you why. I just do that for some reason. And that happens in D&D. Right now I'm playing a male character in D&D. But my main character before this character was female. Um, and when I make characters in other games, it's usually female as well. Although in Hogwarts Legacy, I wanted it to be more like personalized, like you said, like you want to feel like it's you. It's immersive. If it looks and feels like you, and so in Hogwarts Legacy, I made it look and feel like me. Completely agree with that. Yeah. So I totally get it. I totally get it, and it would really bug me if that were the case for me. And so I get where you're coming from. So the standard edition, $70. That's a hefty price. Gold edition gives you the 3 days early access. Look at this, $40 more, 110. So if you want 3 days early access, you gotta cough up $40 more, which is insane. Which is also kind of like sad in my opinion because I like Ubisoft and I wish that they would do better. I feel like that's a bit hefty, but I think I think what's his name? Expecto Go, the guy that we're watching the video from, he kind of mentioned this, and I think he's right. They're making a big push to get people on their Ubisoft Plus, which is their subscription base, so you have access to all their games, right? It's $18 a month. And look at what it gives you. It gives you their Ultimate Edition, which is $130, but $18 a month, and you get the 3 days early access. You get all of this for $18 a month. So they're definitely making a push for this, which might explain why these are such high prices, especially from the base game. 70 to 110. I don't think any game has had a 3 day early access being that expensive. It does come with the season pass as well, but still, $40 is a lot. So I think I agree with Expecto Go. They're making a push to get people on this because they know people don't want to spend a lot of money. Everything's expensive nowadays, like everything. And so getting something cheap makes sense. The other thing is, I f- I beat Hogwarts Legacy in 10 streams or 9 streams, and then I streamed once after I'd completed the main storyline. And so I think I could beat it in 1 month. I mean, worst case scenario, I pay for 2 months, and and that's not even that bad. So this is what I'm going for, and I'm also going to be doing giveaways, giving away 1 month of Ubisoft Plus. When I start the game on their launch day, I'm giving away copies uh, of Ubisoft Plus for a month so that people can play the game. Because I could give away multiple of these versus like one or two of these and maybe one of these, depending on how much I'm able to save as well as if any sponsors are able to help me out. So that's kind of good news, you know. So let's see. Well, to be honest, the cost doesn't hurt me. I have an okay income, not worried about that too much. But female only. Oh, that sounds nice. Giveaways. Yeah, giveaways are always nice for sure. Yeah, and that makes sense. Like sometimes price isn't even a factor. Um, I mean it is hefty for a video game, but I totally get it. But yeah, the female character only. I mean, it's supposed to be an immersive game, you know. It's open world. That's the point of the game. And so I mean, they've been doing it for open world games are known to be, personalized. I mean, they've been doing it since Elder Scrolls, and that game's like what 20 years old. And I was saying on stream earlier, like, what if you could pick a different race? Whether you're maybe even a droid, um, and then you could pick like male, female, and you could pick what you look like and size, how tall. That would have been super cool. And I feel like it would not have changed the gameplay that much. Like it just seems like why would they solidify a female character? I don't know. I mean, but to be honest, what's the new show that the Acolyte, right? I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen just the bits that people have posted about it. But that I think that gives a little bit of a taste of what the Star Wars, the owners of Star Wars are going for. So maybe that explains a little bit. Um, Ubisoft is separate from them, but they also they made a deal. Ubisoft and Disney made a deal to make this Star Wars game, and so there was probably a lot of give and take. Like, hey, the story has to be like this, this, and so the Ubisoft makes the game and then makes it look good, makes it fun. So I typically reduce the cost comparison to going to the movie theater. How many hours of enjoyment would I get from a game compared to paying to go to a theater for a 2-hour movie? Yeah, you actually sound like someone I know because yeah, it makes sense. It's like how many hours am I going to get out of this of entertainment? And I've heard people talk about that when when asked like, "Hey, why do you pay for World of Warcraft?" You know, or a live service game. Why do you pay for that? And it's like, well, if it's entertainment, you go to the movies once a month, you pay X amount for 2 hours, I pay X amount, for 30 days, and so, I'm actually spending less than you on entertainment because I choose this. So that totally makes sense. Yeah, for sure. They actually just mentioned here, let me go back a little bit on the video. They're talking about the runtime. Here, it's literally only 3 minutes ago, so
Recently, Star Wars Outlaws creative director Julian Girardi revealed a huge gameplay detail, confirming the gameplay runtime for Star Wars Outlaws taking about 25 to 30 hours to complete. Now, that 25 to 30 hour runtime is expected for those that focus on the main story, while completionists of the first open world Star Wars game, like myself, we're looking at 50 to 60 hours to complete everything in game. If you compare this to the last Star Wars games, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it took about 15 to 20 hours to complete the main story and 25 to 35 hours to complete everything. Star Wars Outlaws completionist gameplay almost doubles that of Jedi Survivor, which is what we fans have been hoping for since the announcement of Star Wars Outlaws being the first truly open world Star Wars game ever.
He goes on and he talks about, like, at the same time, quality over quantity type of thing, though. I hear Kathleen Kennedy, co-chair of Lucasfilm, is supposed to be a bit woke and a hardcore feminist. I wonder if she's the decision maker of stuffing the female-only choice down our throat with the license they gave Ubisoft. It's very possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, the whole Disney company is a bit like, I mean, I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, you can't force things on people, you know? Whether this is a force or just like something that they chose, I don't know. But there's definitely a lot of other things. I'm a huge Disney fan. Like, but there's so many, like, I mean, you know, Disney, like, stop putting politics into it. Just make a good damn game and, like, that's it. Like, when you start making decisions because you're pushing an agenda, like, that's when things stop being popular and you stop making money. Um, unless that's the sole purpose of your company, unless you are um, one of the administrations and running for presidency or something, like, unless that's your job, to push these things and to talk about these things, like, just keep to yourself, make good content. I think Disney's having a lot of issues with their kids films and kids shows because there's things in it that family and parents feel like shouldn't be in there. That's happening a lot, and it's kind of weird for me. I have did you send an article? I don't see it. Did it come through? Oops. I was looking the categories. Oh, does it not let you send an article? I'm guessing that's what that is. I mean, I don't know if you have X. You could always whisper me on X or send me a message in Discord if it's not working on here. I honestly don't know. Like, just off the top of my head, I don't know how to allow you to send stuff or to send like links if it's blocking your link. So, but yeah, I saw on X there's what is his name? I think I followed them recently. James O'Keefe with O'Keefe Media. It's like OMG Media or something. Like he actually is like, this is Disney breaking. It's the unspoken thing for children to see LGBTQ plus content, says Walt Disney creative marketer director. Like, he's gone undercover, had undercover people go and like infiltrate different people that are higher up in Disney and get them to say stuff on tape. the big one was like a couple weeks ago. Television director of production and finance. Not that one though. Vice President Michael Giordano. That like they had a lot of stuff that he was talking about. Anyways, a little bit off topic, but yeah. Uh, Quote from the article: Even South Park parodied Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, envisioning her as a power hungry feminist who demands diversity in everything. Makes sense. I get diversity, but the the moment it interferes with um the moment it's more important than quality, I think that is correct. The moment that diversity interferes with quality, whether it's quality candidates for jobs or uh, quality products, I feel like that's not right because if someone works their ass off for something and they get passed up by someone just based on who they are or how they were born or something, it's a bit strange to me. Um, I mean, I understand like if you're a friend, and you want to get someone in, and so someone gets in front of someone else that might be more qualified, but because they have that connection, like every job I've ever had literally was through a connection of mine. So I understand that. Um, Connections though aren't the same as choosing someone just based on race. Like I don't think choosing someone white just because they're white, and vice versa, choosing someone black just because they're black or someone Asian just because they're Asian. Um, it just seems a little bit weird to me, but it's the world we live in. Um, the moment it interferes with free choice, diversity should be about equal choices, not forced choices. Yeah, providing equal opportunities. Yeah, it seems like a little bit of the opposite of what should be happening, and a lot of it feels like it's funny that we're on this topic because I see a lot of stuff recently because of, the elections coming up and all that stuff. So I see there's a lot of stuff going on. I also work from home, so I see um, updates and stuff pop up here and there. But yeah, it's just seems like it's a little bit going in the opposite direction. It's like, back in the day, everything that they talk about, like whites had slaves and it was obviously terrible. And then, now slaves are free, and then we're working towards like going back into getting to a middle ground, but then it's, in my opinion, it's just kind of past that and kept going. Not to say that I feel like I'm uh treated badly because of my race or anything like that, but it just seems like a lot of decision making. There was even an article that came out recently where it was an Indian man had a low GPA, but he wanted to get into a top university, so he shaved his head and he used his middle name as his name. That sounded more black. I actually don't, because I think they don't like using African American anymore because they're not from Africa. Um, Dark skinned, but he pretended he was black. He selected black on the race sheet when he applied and he got into university. He finished all of his university that he needed, and then he wrote a book about it. Wrote a book about him getting into a university with a low GPA by pretending that he was black. So interesting. Alrighty. So yeah, runtime in the game is a lot longer. So like you were saying, Ramster. Like you were saying, Ramster, yeah, the runtime is looking decent. And so, bang for buck, it looks like it's going to be worth it as far as content. Expecto Go goes on. I'll play from here, but he mentions like obviously, the amount of content wouldn't really matter if the quality isn't that good. So obviously we don't know that until we play the game. So
and like other games in the genre, is looking to be packed with content. But as Game Rant points out, the quality of the content within a game is far more important than how long a game is. Either way, though, this gameplay detail by Star Wars Outlaws creative director gives myself and fans hope for an expansive and packed gameplay experience that's worthy of the title and universe George Lucas created. The open world of Star Wars Outlaws not only benefits the runtime, but encourages exploration, according to the aforementioned creative director Julian Girardi, saying that another motivation for exploration in Star Wars Outlaws will be by way of the experts feature. Experts are found all over the galaxy,
definitely
on board
excited
space
for
stations
experts
and specific
and you
planet
can see
locations.
here, we were talking about this also earlier. You can see here, this playthrough has access to these 5 or 6. Sorry, wait. I wonder because this one's fully visible as well as this one, but these are kind of like scratched out. I wonder if like you have to get more information about them before you can search for them. You also have these 2 question marks, and then you have a completely blank one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly like 4 steps to get to a point where you know enough that you can go look for them. Huh. Things to think about. Very interesting. I was comparing this earlier to Star Wars, or to Star Wars Legacy, to Hogwarts Legacy. I felt like Hogwarts Legacy gatekeeped a lot of abilities, like the unforgivable curses I wanted right at the beginning. But you have to play through like quite a bit of content to get to a point where um, Slytherin, the member of Slytherin or your Slytherin companion offers to teach you certain things. Um, and so it felt like gatekeeping a little bit, like they were holding back stuff. And I initially thought that this system was gonna maybe break that, but now I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they are. It's a similar thing. Like finish more of the story, and then we'll allow you to be a better gunslinger or something. I don't know. My hope is that I can just literally explore and get these, like separate from the main storyline. If I can literally just explore and hear about certain people and start to get more information to the point where I could go meet them, that'd be cool.
You, as Kay will come across
It would
during
just feel
your
more
journey.
realistic.
Thanks to these experts, though, you'll be able to upgrade your specific abilities, from lockpicking to speeder boost, blaster upgrades, and even hooking up your ship, the Trailblazer. Now, these experts won't be as easy to come across. You'll have to fly through space, speed across planets, and even gather intel sometimes in dangerous territories just to find the experts you need to upgrade a certain ability. And having to do all that may seem like the developers are purposely making the game longer, adding runtime for no reason. But in all actuality, it narratively makes sense for some of these experts to be hard to find, whether they're on the run or in hiding, kind of like our scoundrel of a character, Kay Vess. This galaxy is huge, so again, it narratively makes sense to find certain authorities to help us with our abilities like experts. adding, in my opinion, to the already sheer amount of small details that we've seen so far from Star Wars Outlaws, setting up possibly one of Star Wars' most immersive and lore accurate games to play. Speaking of immersion, ways Star Wars Outlaws immerses the player in the galaxy far, far away is through its minigames. According to Game Rant, Star Wars Outlaws includes 2 task-specific minigames, arcade games, and a huge popular card game. Starting with the first minigame, according to the article, is a rhythm game used most often while the player is attempting to get through a locked door. A ring is rotating around in a circle while playing a rhythmic pattern that the player must press a button along to. When they match the rhythm, the task is simply complete. Game Rant says that the player should be able to breeze through it in only a few seconds, but don't be surprised if the difficulty scales up the further you're in to the game. The second mini game is when players are trying to hack some kind of computer console and basically works as a simplified Star Wars themed version of the popular web browser word game Wordle, which I'm very excited to try out. Next up is the already confirmed and
it's based on Wordle. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. My wife showed me that game. I don't understand it. She's like tried to get me into it a couple times. I'm like, I don't get this.
Highly anticipated Sabacc game. It is a game based off of real life games like poker and even blackjack with number counting. Not only is it set up to be a minigame where you can earn credits or money in game, but Sabacc is set to have some degree of story impact as seen with the cutscene featuring my boy, Lando Calrissian. Lastly is the briefly mentioned but shown arcade and betting games featured at the very beginning and end of the Star Wars Outlaws gameplay showcase during the Ubisoft Forward event a week ago. These arcade games are based on the huge arcade games of the 70s and 80s, the same time George Lucas released the original trilogy. A nice cosmetic and aesthetic touch to the game.
Imagine like a mini game is so immersive that when it ends, you're just like, whoa, where am I? Oh, I'm not even playing the game that I'm in.
Heck, there's even betting, specifically betting on races mentioned later in the.
It would feel like Rick and Morty episode where Rick tells Morty to play the game. He's playing like this, an arcade game like this. And he literally lives this entire life in this game, and he meets he meets someone and has gets married and has kids, and the length of the game feels like a full lifetime. And so at the end, he dies and he wakes up and he was just playing a game the whole time, and Rick just starts like criticizing him for how bad he did. And he's just like, "What happened to my wife?" He's just like crying. It's so funny. Anyways, it'd be funny if that happened in here.
The showcase as.
Hey guys, it's almost 3 a.m. Sorry for my ranting. Peace.
A mini game and option to earn credits. I love that detail. One not mentioned is betting on pod racing, a huge event on Tatooine as seen in episode 1. Now, even though pod racing isn't confirmed, I'm hoping it makes an appearance in game. What has been confirmed is the hundreds of hands-on previews coming from journalists and content creators alike covering Star Wars Outlaws, all of which played at least 2 hours of gameplay during the Ubisoft Forward event. And while mostly are positive and glowing, there were a surprising amount of disappointing reviews coming out of the hands-on previews that I honestly think you should be aware of to help set your expectations of one of my most anticipated games of 2024. And I quote, "I generally enjoyed what I played of Outlaws, but it felt like hopping around different pieces of a linear experience. My inherent worry is that the linear story focused sections of the game could clash with the open-ended exploration, creating a game that feels like 2 desperate halves instead of one whole," says Hayes Matson of Inverse. Jordan Ramey of GameSpot, after playing Star Wars Outlaws, says, and I quote, Outlaws feels fairly mediocre and unmemorable. What I played feels like an amalgamation of different features and mechanics borrowed from other games that do those things better, all while masquerading as a Star Wars game without actually embodying the themes and storylines of Star Wars. The last
Yikes.
quote is from Chris Tapsell of Eurogamer, stating, Outlaws' early gameplay feels positively ancient, not only mechanically, but in execution, and its near total lack of character, flair, invention, detail, or style. In trying to describe it, the closest comparison I can draw is with Uncharted Golden Abyss, which launched in 2011 on the PlayStation Vita. Now, keep in mind, these three and the others who played Star Wars Outlaws early only played 2 hours of a 30 to 60-hour game that's still being developed as we speak. But some of the criticisms shared,
That's changed
I
since.
agree with. Based on my early
It's not
access
being
preview
developed
of
anymore.
the 3 levels, thanks to Ubisoft, hashtag Ubisoft partner. Specifically, what Hayes Matson of Inverse says about how linear the gameplay featured was. The selling point of Star Wars Outlaws is it being the first open world Star Wars game, and to not feature that at all during the preview with less than 3 months from the game's release was surprising and a little concerning. The stealth or combat lacks variety outside of Nick's being awesome in every way, but being only able to punch and tase a stormtrooper, for example, during stealth, or only having a blaster for combat seems,
Do you want like
again,
an
a little
Assassin's
lacking
Creed
for a
blade? Like,
galaxy
what are you
that
expecting?
has
Though?
Death Stars, droids, and even the Force. No matter what, though, I'm still buying this game and extremely excited to play in August. That being said, most of the gameplay reviews and comparisons have been very positive for Star Wars Outlaws, even catching the attention of the aforementioned creative director, Julian
played
Girardi,
like
who in an interview with Video Game
time.
Chronicle comments
Played
on the
Uncharted
Star Wars
like one
Outlaws
time.
and Uncharted series gameplay comparison,
Like literally
saying,
once I played it.
Uncharted is such a wonderful game to be compared to. If you're going to be compared to somebody, it might as well be the best in the industry. Continuing on with his high praise of the developer, Naughty Dog, and their work, saying it's absolutely brilliant. But despite what early reviewers think, Girardi clarifies and says that the Uncharted adventures weren't necessarily a reference point. It wasn't the point of origin for the Ubisoft massive team at all. Ubisoft is aiming to build a big scoundrel fantasy that lets you, as Kay alongside Nix, explore the criminal underworld of a galaxy far, far away, setting itself apart with different criminal factions, reputation systems, warning systems, space fights, and more. And Ubisoft Massive isn't just setting itself apart from previous Star Wars games, they're going at great lengths to also make Star Wars Outlaws, and I quote, one of the most cinematic games of all time.
It definitely
and
looks
honestly,
like it.
Having played Avatar Frontiers of Pandora and even The Division
Avatars was
2,
incredible.
Ubisoft Massive is the team to do it. What are your thoughts on the Star Wars Outlaws gameplay details concerning completion time, its experts feature, mini games, gameplay criticisms, or even its Uncharted gameplay comparisons? Do you find any of these a surprising detail? Comment below, let me know, and let's talk more Star Wars Outlaws. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video and hanging out with you, boy. If you enjoyed this,
highly recommend Expecto Go. James is incredible. Let's see. If you were an outlaw, it'd be interesting if you were able to take that even further in how you chose to make a living. For example, bounty hunting and ability to become a Mandalorian down the storyline, or an independent smuggler, etc. That's true. I think I don't think they're gonna go that detailed. Because like Mandalorian, right, is very like there's a lot of visual differences. I don't think it's gonna be like that. It's hard to say. I feel like as an outlaw, it's going to be very generic, like Han Solo style, just like because there are a lot of choices. Like they've shown choices where you're in a conversation and it lets you choose what your character says between this or that. Um, and then reputation can go up or down with different factions, depending on what you choose to do or like who you side with or whatever. Um, which can make missions in certain areas harder or easier. Um, so yeah, I think it's the other thing is there's a lot of side quests. So, but I feel like for the most part, it's just like you're basically like a Han Solo. You're doing side missions. You're making money, and you're trying to clear your name from this big, which is the main storyline. Like clear your name from this big time person and yada yada yada. Me neither. I was just dreaming about opportunities. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this earlier. I have a pretty big hope that comes from this game, similar to my hope, or exactly the same as my hope that was for Hogwarts Legacy. So Hogwarts Legacy was extremely successful. Like they sold a lot of copies, they made a lot of money, and that's what's important when it comes to a game and a company that makes a game, right? Because that means their attention is on the game more. And I've always been the advocate for Hogwarts Legacy being a live, like let's just say live service game, like basically a game where I can go online and play with you. I could, we could all play together. We could all go to class together. We could all do whatever we want in this open world. Um, Obviously that didn't happen, and that's not happening for Star Wars Outlaws. But my hope is that the single player open world games are so popular and they do so well, make them so much money that they start looking into making live service games. And I feel like they would because what's their goal? If they're a publicly traded company, well, whether they're a private company or publicly traded, but especially when they're publicly traded, the main goal is to make as much money as possible. And so if the single player open world game does really well and makes them a buttload of money, which Hogwarts Legacy did, then what's in their mind for the next thing, and because they're going to make another thing. There's no way they don't make another thing. They made so much money on the last one. How do we keep players continuing to play and continuing to spend money on, like, let's say, cosmetics and stuff? That's where I think their mind is going, in that for that game, which I'm excited about. I hope happens, because I love live service games. Like you even said, Ramster, making your character look like you just personalizes it. And for you, you have a hard time playing female characters because you're not female. Um, and that makes complete sense. Whereas I feel like if it was an online service game, like the customization would be way larger than a single player game where you need to play as this character. Um, I guess if you consider like the Batman games, right? Um, Gotham City, Arkham Knight, whatever. Um, it's is there a Gotham City one? I'm blanking, but like in the Batman games, if a female plays the Batman games, she's playing as a male, right? Um, and and it makes sense, because it's Batman. That's the character. So it's probably not as immersive as like creating your own superhero or something like that. I don't know. It's just like I'm trying to think of like examples, but exactly. I actually try to make characters have some sort of resemblance to me, even in Diablo 4 that I play right now. My characters have a full beard like me, blue eyes like me, etc. I get that 100%. I actually made so I did countdown content a little bit. I did countdown content for Diablo 4. I was really pumped for Diablo 4, as many people were. Um, and my characters I made look like characters that. So, for example, I made a sorcerer that was male, completely pale, and then you could see like black veins in his head, and then his eyes were like like darkened black. They had like paint around him or something, and I named him Voldemort. And so like I made like characters that made sense with the type of gameplay it was. So Voldemort casting spells, right, and electricity based spells or whatever, like completely matches Voldemort. So that's like what I did in Diablo 4, and I had a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, and that's my thing, right? Like, it, specifically for Diablo 4, that was my thing. That's how I was immersed into the game. And your thing is, make it look like you. And in some cases, that's my thing. Hogwarts Legacy, that was my thing. I wanted it to look like me while I go to school. Um, and so it just depends. Like, and that's why having a variety, having the option to customize makes sense. And in this game particularly, Star Wars Outlaws, it's not Batman. There's no comics made of this character. There's nothing that forces this character to be this character. And so that's, I mean, when you came in, I think I was kind of discussing that very topic, like why'd they, like, I don't mind personally. Um, but yeah, like, why wouldn't they make it customizable as a first person? I don't know, as a single player, sorry, as a single player open world game, it would just make sense. What would you look like as a band, as an outlaw, bandit, or whatever, in the Star Wars world? That'd be so cool. I wonder why they didn't do that. But having said that, I hope this game does well, just so that they have the conversation of creating a live service game, open world live service game, something like that. That's my hope. But again, I mean, even if they have that conversation, that video games nowadays take like 7 years to make. So I mean, like, there's a hope, but there's also like, oh gosh, that's so long to make a video game, even if they decide to do it. Um, so let's go on to the next video. We have another one from Expecto Go. This one is from 5 days ago. Huge Star Wars Outlaws update we've waited for. Let's take a look.
I can't believe it. Star Wars Outlaws will be releasing in just under 2 months, specifically next month in August. And well, we just got a huge official update about
the game went gold 5 days ago. Going gold basically means that the game is being sent out to its distributors to sell. Like, the game is completed in its version that's going to be sold. So sure, they can make updates and stuff like that, and send out expansions or whatever. Like, they'll have things that they send out to update the game, but it is officially done being touched until it's all until they sell the game, which is exciting. That's a good point to be at. It, I'm blanking. Ubisoft, yeah. I keep thinking of Bungie. Ubisoft did the same thing with their Avatar Frontiers of Pandora game. They sent it out, had people play it, give their opinion. They had maybe a couple weeks with the game before they went gold. Probably just to tweak little things that they, feedback that they got, and then they put it gold. So they did the same thing with this game, with Star Wars Outlaws. They sent it out, let people, give their feedback, probably made a couple adjustments, and then now it's been marked as gold. So it just means that we're getting closer to launch,
Out
basically.
the game today that not only proves it's on track for that said August release, but it's a huge update and milestone for Ubisoft Massive and whole. Yo, this your boy
Officially
James
gold.
over Expect to Go, bringing you guys fun and positive gaming content. Earlier today on Star Wars Outlaws official socials, they announced that the game's development has gone gold, stating Star Wars Outlaws
Bing.
has gone gold. Our team can't wait for you to start exploring the Outer Rim and living the life of a scoundrel. August 30th can't come soon enough. This announcement also came with a mini trailer celebrating this huge milestone. So, personally, I want to congratulate the entire Ubisoft creative team, from the game director, the creative director, Julian Girardi, to even the narrative team and the QAs who tested the game for bugs and making sure the quality of life was well for this game. So when we play it, it's going to be a great experience. So huge congratulations to the development team. I know this has been the game plan ever since you started this vision and journey years ago. So the next thing to come out of Star Wars Outlaws is its release. But what does Gone Gold mean for Star Wars Outlaws, Ubisoft Massive, and us, the players? Well, according to Game Rant, the term, and I quote, Gone Gold, is shorthand for the gaming industry phrase, and I quote, Gold Master. When a game enters the stage of development, it means that it has reached a point where it is finished and ready for release. Everything that the developers want to put in the game is in the most recent build, meaning there's no more they're going to put into this game. This is the game they want us, the players, to play. This is their vision, and they are ready for us to consume said vision. At this stage, developer and publisher believe that the game is ready for the public, so when a game goes gold, this is relatively good news for players that are looking forward to a game's release like Star Wars Outlaws. In order for a game to go gold, it must also pass the certification process that companies like Microsoft over at Xbox or Sony over at PlayStation and even Ubisoft set to ensure that anything released on their platforms is good, whether it's stable or doesn't have any issues that make the game completely unplayable or bugs that could result in a less than ideal experience for players playing their game. Once a game has gone through this entire process, it will be put onto a physical disc, if applicable, or gone digital and shipped out to be sold at various retailers and stores in person. So don't be surprised when you start seeing photos of physical copies of the game leaking on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and even other locations. It also means that the marketing for this first Star Wars open world game will start to ramp up, alongside video and blog reviews of the game dropping probably in a couple of weeks or so from today, when they made the announcement of the game going gold. Honestly, this is
so
an
much
exciting time for us
this.
fans and of course the studio, Massive Entertainment. And this surprised me even more because we're over 2 months out from this game's release, and
over 2 months out. Posted this 5 days ago. He just said we're over 2 months out, right?
over 2 months out from this game's release, and
I think he's getting confused. There's no way. So 5 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say it was last Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, never mind. I thought he was way off. Okay. Technically, 2 months from the date that he posted this would be August 29th, which is technically 1 day before 2 months. So he says over 2 months, it's 2 months and a day when he posted this. So technically that's correct. Um, I was like, there's no way.
We're over 2 months out from this game's release, and they're ready. They're ready for this game to be played. And it kind of looked like that based off of the gameplay footage I was privy to, hashtag Ubisoft partner. And with all the information we got out of said Ubisoft Forward,
partner?
from the hands-on previews to the showcase,
What
I
a
think we're in for a
freaking-
fun ride these next couple of weeks.
What a boss,
with
bro.
even more interviews, trailers, and hopefully gameplay details that we will be dropping as soon as they are revealed. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any fun and positive gaming content coming out of Star Wars Outlaws. Now, there's still a ton of stuff I'm waiting to hear, or at least get confirmation on, or at least get more details on. Basically, my top 5 unanswered questions about Star Wars Outlaws going into its release. And most of these questions will be centered around the story and its open world. That, without spoiler, I hope we get insight on, because it's what I care about the most. For example, how dense will this open world be? Will it just be a place where we can explore? Will it be interactive? Will it make sense? Will it just be a barren wasteland? These are questions we really didn't get out of Ubisoft Forward, and I hope we get in the upcoming weeks leading up to its release. Narratively, I want to see where this ends. Will Kay and Nyx ride off into the sunset and complete their heist? Or will they join the Republic and some other faction to help go against the Empire that we know is going to have a huge battle going into the return of the Jedi? These are questions as a Star Wars fan and as a gaming fan that I would like to see at least hinted on or touched on without spoiling the game going into the game's release on August 30th. That being said, what questions do you still have about the game, and what are your thoughts?
What happens when you die?
Huge milestone and accomplishment done by Ubisoft Massive, with Star Wars Outlaws officially going gold as of today.
What happens when you die? Like, do you actually die? Do you get just knocked down to the ground and they arrest you? You wake up in a prison, or back in the city that where you started? Do the NPCs interact with your clothing? So I think they talked about like having, and they did this with Avatar where they had like in-game items you could buy, right? Skins and whatnot. So for example, if there's, let's say there's an Empire outfit or something, if I put that on and wear it, will the people I interact with, the NPCs I interact with in the world, will they look at me as if I were an employee of the Empire? Will they be afraid of me? Will things change whether I'm wearing something or not? Or is it just going to be like, oh, this is the player. Hi, welcome, blah, blah, blah. Is it just going to be like the same thing? Pretty good question. Just came up with that. So, also good question. Why aren't the main characters customizable? Because that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe they want to sell dolls or like characters of the specific character. But even then, it's like, come on, man. Customize so more people buy your game instead of, marketing. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but
below, let me know. Let's talk more Star Wars Outlaws. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video and hanging out with your boy.
James,
if you enjoyed
you're
it,
incredible.
be sure to check out the video to your right with our 5 details.
We gotta hang out, dude. Me and James. One day. Star Wars Outlaws DLC gameplay is more important than you think. last video, by the way.
Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another very exciting Star Wars Outlaws discussion, as earlier this week we posed a question to all of you via poll. When it comes to open world games like Star Wars Outlaws, do you care more about the quality of the open world or the quality of the story? And to be honest with you, the results of this poll were rather shocking, and it got us thinking about what this game will look like once it releases.
Why is that shocking? I feel like an open world game needs both, especially if it's a single player game. I think it needs a great story and a great open world. But if you had to choose one, I don't know. Because if you think about it, a good open world is playable for possibly forever, right? Like it's playable for a long, long time. You finish the main story and then you're just sitting there like not knowing what to do. That's how I felt like in Hogwarts Legacy. There just wasn't any point for me to continue after I finished the main storyline. The like you earn gold and you can sell pets babies to earn more gold, and then you buy cosmetics that aren't insanely different, and it's all inside a single player game. So no one else will really see it unless you're streaming, I guess. But I don't know, it's just weird to me. Like I literally did one stream after I beat the game in Hogwarts Legacy. I did one stream after, and I like literally had nothing else to do. A lot of people go after all the Easter eggs and all the this and that and this and that, fully complete the game. But I'm like, once the story's done, like you're just forcing yourself to play the game to get something done. I don't know. I get it, but I also like it's just not for me. So in this case, sorry, going back to the question, in this case, if it were against the story or the open world, if the open world is good enough that it keeps you playing, well past the story, then in my opinion, I think the open world would be better. Because most story-based games that are not open world, as soon as you complete the game, like that's it. Like you complete the game and then it's like, hey, do you want to run around the same map for some reason? You go ahead if you want. Or some of them don't even give you that option. It just goes scrolls credit and then, restart the game or something.
Which led us to do a ton of research into the upcoming post-launch DLC for this game. And to be honest with you, we found a ton of very exciting information that not really anybody is talking about, that has led us to believe that the upcoming DLC for Star Wars Outlaws is way more important than any of us realize or are giving credit for. But before we get into this conversation, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that, just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification.
Earn my love, Lunar.
It'll notify you every single time that Andreas and I upload. And if you would like to take this conversation beyond the comment section on YouTube, make sure to head over to Twitter and follow us at Lunar Squadron, or jump into our Discord server. All of that information will be down below.
Follow on X, Lunar Squadron. Lunar Squadron. There he is. Whether it's him or a team, I'm not sure. Open world. It is July, which means Star Wars Outlaws releases next week. Next month. Oops. Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry. I'm getting super distracted because I'm so tired.
Now, with all of that out of the way, Andreas, are you ready to talk about the DLC for this game?
Oh, yeah. Let's do
DLC about the game. 12:20 p.m. here in Denmark, early hours, which reminds me I should go pick up some lunch. Dang, dude, you're in Denmark? I'm in California, so it's 3 in the morning. And I have 4 kids and work tomorrow. So every time I stream late, it's kind of like a mini suicide. It's just like The next day might suck really bad, but I mean, sacrifices, right? All right. I think I'm losing my voice a little bit, but let's go. I'll grab some water. Nice chatting. Oh, well, you should go get some sleep. Take care, though. I followed you, so I'll be around another day. Sounds good, dude. Go get lunch. Much appreciate the follow for sure, dude. Means a lot. And yeah, we'll talk a ton more. Yeah.
Do this, guys.
Earlier this week, we sent out a poll to all of you asking you guys the question about when it comes to open world games like Star Wars Outlaws, what is more important to you in terms of quality and depth? Is it the open world or the story? And while we were expecting a more 50-50 result, we were honestly really shocked to see that an overwhelming majority of you actually care more about the quality of the open world when it comes to games like Star Wars Outlaws. It looks like some of you just really don't care about the quality of the story as much as you do the quality of the open world. And that got us thinking about the upcoming DLC for Star Wars Outlaws and how we will be getting story expansions for this game once that
Season Pass includes 2 upcoming story pack DLCs.
That game releases, and we were thinking about what this DLC needs to do to be able to capture what people want from this game. And Andreas, while they have marketed mostly this DLC as story expansions, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, there is. I personally thought that the focus of these season passes was that they were going to be extending the story of Star Wars Outlaws and Kay's journey, and that's kind of how it's been marketed to date. If you look on the website in big text, it literally says extend Kay's journey with 2 upcoming DLCs. And that just right off the bat, in the big bold text, you would imagine, okay, this is all a story DLC. We know for one that this season pass is coming with 2 of these, and they will be included with the gold edition of the game. And I assume it'll also probably be sold separately as like a $40 extra. But one thing that I always thought was that this was going to be solely story-based, but if you read the fine print here, it's actually a bit more descriptive than that, and it's a little bit more expansive than I first realized, because if you read right here, it says, extend Kay's journey, keep exploring the world of Star Wars Outlaws with all new stories, quests, and areas to discover in 2 additional narrative expansions that will release after the launch. Nick, again, the first time when I read this, I think my brain honed in on narrative expansions, but it looks like it's more than just a narrative expansion here, because we're actually going to be getting new areas to discover in this game post-launch, which I think I just have to stop and think about that for a second, because that's a pretty big deal, right? Like, when you think about a Star Wars game, the ceiling for what they can accomplish with these new areas is pretty high. You can go to whole new planets. You can go to new cities within planets. For example, we've seen that Mos Eisley is going to be in this game, but what about Mos Espa? Is there a possibility that they could add cities like Mos Espa that people are going to want to see post-launch? And I think this opens that avenue for that and makes these DLC expansions a bit more of an appealing buy for people.
It also keeps people paying for their Ubisoft Plus. Because if you play the game for a month, you paid for an $18 subscription for the month or whatever, and let's say the DLC comes out the month after, you're gonna pay, especially if you love the game, you're gonna pay for that next month. That's $40 or almost $40 at that point. So they want to get people. I mean, and I don't mind that they're pushing people to get Ubisoft Plus. I'm actually appreciative because it's so much cheaper than just buying the base game. I mean, that is if you don't pay more than it, but you also obviously get other things like access to all of Ubisoft's games on their Ubisoft Plus. So yeah, smart. I'll I mean, I didn't know about the DLCs at all, actually. Obviously, I haven't been paying enough attention. But I, I'm now thinking I'll probably play it for more than the first month, even if I beat the game out. DLCs coming out, soon after launch. Definitely enticing. Um, Compared to another Hogwarts Legacy comparison, compared to Hogwarts Legacy, Warner Brothers, who decided to make a deal with Sony so that this awesome side quest and entire additional story was kept from everyone else for, I think it was they said it was for a year. So you could play this extra mission and stuff if you only bought the game on PlayStation. They said it was for a year, but then when the year came, they still didn't release it for like another 6 months. So it was like a year and a half. And I still haven't played it because by that time I'm not interested. I'm not invested. I don't care at that time. I beat the main game. I'm like, maybe at some point I'll go back and play it, but you just kind of killed it for me, Warner Brothers. And so this makes sense though, because you're like in the hype of the game. You beat the game, maybe, right? Let's say you beat the game, and then there's more content, and you love the game. You're like, oh, I'm gonna play this too. I to- I think that's a smart move on their part. Keeps people playing for more than just the first month.
Who just may have thought beforehand that these were story expansions and maybe they weren't all too bothered with the story of this game.
Yeah, this is incredibly exciting for all of the reasons that you said, and this information has been out there for a while. We knew that there were narrative DLCs coming for this game, but I think the focus of the conversation around the DLC for this game has all been about the pre-order bonuses and then people being upset about the pricing and all of that stuff. No one's really talked about what we're actually getting. No one's really dug into that, and that's what we wanted to do in this video. And like you said, I kind of felt the same way. When we knew we were getting narrative expansions, I thought it would be mainly story-based stuff, some additional missions that will help progress the story forward. But reading that we will be getting new quests, which to me seems like open world content, like side quests, and new areas to discover is incredibly exciting because that's what we want. That's what it sounds like a lot of people want, is a very in-depth open world. And here we have confirmation that Massive will be adding onto it. And this is something that they've done with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. They have a very similar content structure for that game, almost identical content structure for that game. And we know that the first DLC for Avatar's Frontier of Pandora is coming in just about a week and a half, and it is adding a ton of new areas to explore. And one thing you do have to keep in mind is that is just Pandora. Like, that game is limited to just one planet. They can't just go add other planets. The Na'vi aren't on other planets. The whole point of that IP is to take place on Pandora. It's in the name of the game. But like you said, when it comes to games like Star Wars Outlaws, you could be talking about whole new planets to be adding. Like, we know that we're getting these 5 set locations, but locations like Coruscant could make their way into the game, or other iconic Star Wars planets. So really, there is a ton of potential and opportunities here for Massive to explore when it comes to this post-launch content for this game to really grow this game into something even more special.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Nick, because that, for one, I think is going to be a good yardstick for us to measure this game against when we are trying to figure out our expectations, because it looks like a near identical season pass structure where they had a bonus quest at launch. And of course, we have a bonus quest that is being offered at launch with this game. If you have the season pass, it's called Jabba's Gambit, and it's described as the following. It says, just as Kay is putting together a crew for the Canto Bight heist, she receives a job from Jabba the Hutt himself. Turns out that ND5 owes Jabba a debt from years ago, and he has come to collect. So it looks like the bonus quest will revolve around Jabba's palace and Jabba and have a storyline there. But these story packs, Nick, they're something completely different. Like you said, they're adding completely new areas into the game, new story onto the game. It's an extension of the story in the purpose of Frontiers of Pandora, and in just about 10 days we're going to see what that looks like with the first story pack, which is called the Skybreaker DLC. And if we're trying to figure out when these things are going to release, I think it's important to look at Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I wish I played more Avatar. The first story pack is releasing just about 7 months after the release of the game, and then the second story pack is expected to release about 9 to 10 months after the game. So if we had to guess based on that release timeline what it's going to look like for Star Wars Outlaws, I think spring 2025 is probably a safe bet for Story Pack 1, and then summer 2025 is a safe bet for Story Pack 2. But one thing that I also want to add is that we probably shouldn't have to rely on this speculation for very long, because Avatar Frontiers of Pandora received a season pass trailer about 30 days or so before the game came out. And so I would really be expecting that Outlaws would get a similar treatment with a season pass trailer somewhere in the first or second week of August, where they will lay out exactly when they expect the different story packs to come out and what exactly they're expecting, at least from like a storyboard perspective, for those different story packs, and maybe even a look into what new areas we can expect out of those story packs.
Yeah, that definitely would be really exciting, especially if Massive continues the same trajectory that they have with Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and it definitely feels like they are trying to copy that same structure. And one thing that I really love that Massive appears to be doing with this DLC is pushing the main story forward after the game finishes, because other Ubisoft games like Valhalla, their DLC like picked up in the middle of that game, and that's just kind of weird. So I really like, at least with Avatar, it looks like the upcoming DLC takes place like immediately after the main game finishes, and it sounds like when you look at Outlaws it says extend Kay's journey. That to me sounds like we're going to be progressing the game beyond where the main story finishes at the end, and that's incredibly exciting because it just gives us more story while we wait for perhaps a potential sequel down the line if that happens. I know a lot of people believe that this is going to be a one-off, but we will at least be getting additional story and missions beyond the main story of that game, and that is incredibly exciting. And one other thing that I do want to talk about when it comes to the DLC for this game and the post-launch content is that Star Wars Outlaws really is in rarefied air when it comes to this sort of stuff, that it's even getting post-launch content, because when you think of other past Star Wars games, this kind of stuff doesn't really exist, especially in their single-player narrative-driven games. Jedi Survivor, there was no DLC after that game came out. Jedi Fallen Order had very limited DLC, and it was more of that arena mode and some cosmetics. There was nothing to push the story forward, no sort of interlude between Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Now, of course, a game like Battlefront 2 did get DLC for its story, but I don't think any of us were playing Battlefront 2 for its campaign. That was like a nice additional bonus to that game. We all cared about the live service content for the multiplayer. At least I feel like 95+% of us who played that game were playing Battlefront 2 for the multiplayer, and the same goes for 2015 Battlefront. All of that DLC was about more of the PvE and PvP multiplayer elements of that game. Outlaws having a post-launch season pass and story DLC is really exciting, because we just don't really see that when it comes to games in the Star Wars universe. So I'm just so excited to see what these additional quests are, what these additional areas, if they add new planets, or if they add on to planets like Tatooine. Do we get new areas that we've never heard of when it comes to this planet that help maybe spice the planet up a little bit? Or do we get to finally explore locations that we've heard about and read about, but we've never gotten to see? I just think there's so many possibilities for Massive to go with DLC in this game, and to know that we're getting this expansive DLC with quests and new locations and new stories just gets me so excited for what this game will be after releases. It's going to be really excited to remain hyped about this game once we finish it, I'm sure immediately after it comes out.
I could not agree more, Nick. And before we did this whole deep dive into the DLC, I personally wasn't the most excited for DLC for this game, but particularly now because we've learned that there will be these new areas that we can discover with the DLC. I, for one, am certainly an open world junkie, and that gets my brain running on all the possibilities of places that we can go. And I think that leads me to a great question that I'd like to open up for the comments for this video, and that is, if you could add any area to discover in the DLC packs for this game, either in Story Pack 1 or Story Pack 2, or both, I'd love to hear both recommendations from all of you, where would you take Kay's journey to? I, for one, would like to see the Outlander Club in this game, because I just think it fits so close into the Outlaws theme. You have the seedy underbelly of Coruscant, which is one of those hives of scum and villainy that I think would fit in perfectly with the themes of Star Wars Outlaws. And who knows, I think there's also other possibilities as well, like other areas within the planets that we already have, like Mos Espa, that I personally would love to see. I'd love to bet on the pod races, for example, in Mos Espa. So those are my ideas. Nick, anything that you think would be cool to add to this game?
Well, we definitely are Coruscant merchants, so I was expecting you to say that. So I was trying to think of a different location, and I really do love the planet Naboo. I don't know how that fits into this, but I wouldn't mind being able to visit that in another open world setting. So I guess that will be my answer. All I know is I was just already excited to explore the open world of this game and see how in-depth it is, and to know that we will be getting even more once the game comes out just gets me even more excited. I just cannot wait to get my hands on this game and just see what it's all about. So guys, let us know your thoughts down below. Answer Andreas's great question. If you could add one place to this game or one planet to this game, what would you do in terms of DLC? What do you hope Massive does in terms of DLC? Like we said, possibilities really are endless when you have a galaxy like Star Wars. But guys, that is going to do it for us for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all next time.
That was so good. I love them. I love them. I love the video. That is a good point though. And it does bring speculation. Well, that's it from me for today. Yeah, I think overall good things. Definitely some points. There were definitely some points that we hit on where we feel like they could improve. The biggest one being customization of the main character. Um, I totally agree with that. I personally don't have a problem playing a female, but uh, I would have preferred to play me as the outlaw. Um, and so I definitely think that would have been an improvement overall. And I don't think it would have messed too much with the game itself, um, and like the story and things like that. So I guess that is kind of, in my opinion, a missed opportunity. So yeah, now that it was mentioned, I do definitely see that as being kind of a downside of of everything. Overall, the game looks incredible. I can't wait. I'm super excited. Um, I guess the Avatar game, the main character that you play is also a female, and you don't. Oh, well, there is some skin customization though, and like spots customization, but the character herself stays the same. Which again, Avatars is made by the same company, um, Ubisoft. So maybe it's just something that they like to do. Maybe I don't know, but if it's a good game, I don't think it will really matter. Um, but yeah, I hope it's playable past the main storyline. I have a hard time playing single player games past the main storyline. I basically finish the story and then it just feels like a waste of time to me because I'm just like, why am I really caring about collecting gold to buy one thing in the game when the game's over? Having said that, though, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy never really had expansions planned or DLCs or anything announced. If I remember correctly, any DLCs were to fix certain things and they dragged their feet to get it taken care of. Whereas this is a bit refreshing to have like content coming out like pretty soon afterwards. So I am actually pretty excited for that. Um, I think we'll play this game quite a bit. Um, I Having said that, I also have other games that we're looking forward to. Um, a Quiet Place game possibly for after um, after I finish Resident Evil 2 for our Freaky Fridays. Um, and then there's obviously the Indiana Jones game, which I'm super excited for. as well as I don't think it's announced what date or even what year that it's going to be released, but the Jurassic Park survival game, holy moly, that game looks so good too. So there are some other games lined up, and there's probably going to be one or two more that surprise me that maybe I haven't heard about. That is like movie or book themed. Um, I know there's some company, this is just an example I'm pulling out of thin air, but there's some company that was working on an open world MMO that's Lord of the Rings themed. I know they already have Lord of the Rings online, so they have something like that. But this one was like different. It's like um, from what I remember hearing about it. So stuff like that could pop up, and I'd have to put time into that. But I mean, I think we're gonna have a great year with this game and with some of the other ones that are coming out this year. So gonna be fun. Star Wars Outlaws. There you go. It is. It's gone gold. We are under 2 months away. Technically, it's next month. I think we're at about 7 weeks. Just looking at the date, so about 7 weeks when it releases. But yeah, super exciting stuff. I'll keep my eye on anything to come through as far as like on X or on YouTube, like from some of these creators. And we'll have probably one more news update before the game launches. So yeah, exciting stuff. Again, this stream is sponsored by oldman.health, supplements that are organic and mushroom based, developed for men to feel and stay young inside and out. Uh, Check them out. They're geared towards old men, obviously, oldman.com. So, for example, my old man, right, should be taking these supplements. Um, but it's it's the supplements work for anyone, really, but geared towards old men, keeping them feeling young, keeping them feeling fresh, rejuvenated, all that good stuff. So, thank you so much, oldman.health. Hopefully sometime I get like a discount code or something. Um, but yeah, super exciting stuff. I think for now that's it. I will if you're watching on Twitch, stick around just for a second. I'm gonna see if anyone else is streaming Star Wars Outlaws, because that's what I'm marked as on here is Star Wars Outlaws. So if there's someone else streaming Star Wars Outlaws, I will raid. I will raid them. So let's the pull up my full face. What's up, guys? Clearly, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I tend to rant. You guys know that. So I rant when I get sleepy, or I literally will doze off, like actually fall asleep. Yay! I blinked for a second. No, not my channel. Blinked for a second. No. No. Go to Twitch. We are looking for Star Wars Outlaws. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Nope, it's just me. All right, just me for tonight. So I will not raid on Twitch, but I will appreciate, or I will thank you guys for hanging out. It's been it's been a while since I've done some news updates on any game, so it's kind of refreshing, nice to get caught up. I mean, most of everything that we talked about was new. Maybe not most. I'd say like there's 50-50, like 50% of what they were talking about I knew out of all these videos, and 50% I did not know. So definitely good news update there. So I'll see you guys next time. The next stream should be not tomorrow. tomorrow, not in like 24 hours, but the day after. And of course, we're going to be playing Star Wars Survivor, right? That's what it's called. It's so late. All right, I gotta open up Epic Games. I bought it on Epic Games because it was on sale, baby. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yeah, so next stream we'll hop back into Star Wars Jedi Survivor during the week, and then Friday will be Freaky Friday as usual. So, all right, guys, much love. Follow me on all the socials if you feel the love. Can you feel the love? If you do, please support me on X, TikTok. Those help a ton. And of course YouTube. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Good night. Avita say. I'll see you next time.